with the mind, but with the blade for sure. Yeah, I'll have to ask him, when did we meet? Man, I really can't think of it. I guess I just sorta cleared out things that don't matter so much and made room for much more important things, like the memories that we've all built together.
Great job. But so on the nose, even while I'm not looking at it, I know exactly what die you're talking about. Because you didn't just allude to it, you just said what it was.
Yeah, sometimes I'm a little more, like, vague with them, other times I just, like, straight up, and I almost always just go straight in order just to, like, sharpen my mind, you know what I mean? And I try not to think about it too much and just, like, off the cusp it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how I play it, but I definitely would say I am a little bit more keen to go for like word association. So like the danger you don't see to me is the snake. But you just said it as like the danger in the grass, the snake in the grass. I'm just like, I mean, you could have just said danger. That was a good way for a snake to appear. Alrighty. Actually, wait a second. Snake. Alrighty. So, last session we had you all kind of picking up in the entrance beneath the Temple of the 53 Gods of Chance. You were encountering Gizagot, and in kind of the pickup was like right as they kind of became visible before you, and it was like this winged, almost like fleshless creature with like muscles exposed, almost like the beak of a carrion bird in an otherwise somewhat humanoid form. As you guys kind of fought them off, you would start to search this temple that seemed to be ever descending further and further into the ground and seemed to be some of the oldest kind of stonework at this point that you guys would have encountered moving into this place. Um, you pretty quickly found a sort of like large, sort of like dining room or like public area. Found like some storage space next to it, like for preparation of food. And among things there, you found a secret stash kind of beneath or behind the actual like dry goods, like right off of the kitchen. From that area, there were a few different places that you could explore too, and among those, you've basically kind of searched now two of the five. Two of them had doors that opened. You slayed some humanoids who had like chains kind of embedded in their flesh at one of these doors, like in that hallway just kind of northwest of where Davros is. And then the second place that you actually went to where the door opened is actually where Davros's token still is. And you found like a cat and a lizard folk like kind of brawling against each other. And as soon as you all kind of like open up the door, they turn their attention to you and have been band together, like fighting against you. From there, I believe you've tested two of the other doors and they've been locked. I know you tested the door sort of in between where Davros is and where you like fought the actual four like flayed ones. I'm not entirely sure. I think you tested the door to the northwest, up to the top, and that was locked, but I don't really remember if you tested both of those. You guys can kind of add that in towards the end here. Um, Once you did go down south to where Davros is, you guys entered into that battle, and it's gone pretty well for how things have been. For you've got like a sort of like a choke point sort of attached, and it's only pretty recently, I believe, that the lizard folk can't remember how he specifically flipped over Davros, but I feel like he kind of like damn, I forget. I felt like there was something I don't remember putting it in my notes, but basically forced his way out of the room and um, Gale was put to sleep. And that's kind of where we like right as we sort of went was top of the initiative order. Jinx basically sees Gale fall unconscious to the ground as the tolling bell kind of sings to only Gale. And Jinx was out of view of it, not seeing that somebody had done something, just seeing Gale fall unconscious to the ground, moved over to him, kind of teleported him away, and with a sort of whisper, not necessarily whisper, but it would be the last thing hears is something to the effects of, I'll be back for you. And then Davros was left alone with the cat, the lizard, and the jelly beans of the cat paw um, attacking him. And that's pretty much where we're going to pick up. Do you guys remember anything else? Like, do you remember if you search one of the top northern rooms? Um, do you have any other thoughts or anything else that I might have left that you think is significant?
So I know we found, I think it was a one chest that's like to sell, but we ended up leaving that, I think, in that room that we searched where we found the secret room. And just remind me, those cat's paws, those are like the spectral ones, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is whatever clerics cast their weapon.
Right, right.
Uh,
Spiritual weapon. Right. Okay.
yep. I should have taken the time to actually zero it out so I could actually like remove all of the fur and just make the little jelly beans. But yeah, that's why I described it as just like the jelly beans, as it's a spectral cat's paw.
Just like randomly, it's probably not that important. But I think the way he got to the other side was he had turned into like the giant crocodile, and then when he like unsummoned, he was on the other side or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, because he smashed into his space as the giant crocodile. Um,
And then I
yeah,
think I dealt enough damage to it that broke that form that returned it to its normal lizard folk form, I
yeah.
think.
I was thinking it was related to it switching forms, but I couldn't think what it was. But yeah, he definitely. I think he like ended up taking some damage because he was sharing your space. And then when he like shrinks back, it's like, oh, I can kind of actually choose now.
And then the other thing was just a reminder right before I left, when I told Davros I'd be right back, I gave him bardic inspiration. And then also, once we landed from the teleportation, you said that Chris had like suddenly woken back up also.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Chris is back awake. So I have a little bit of my actual initiative order for you guys still. I only erased part of it, which seems to be the cat and some of the numbers, but I've got the general order. And because we basically had Jinx's turn go first, though you're at the top of the initiative, we are going to pick up, of course, with me. So let me try to get a hold of this. Because I need to figure out what stat blocks I was supposed to use for the lizard and the cat. Because I forgot about that already. Oh, nice. I might have actually planned this well enough where I have their stats in their names. Excellent. I do. That makes it so much easier. All right. So let's start off real quick with the lizard attacking Davros here. Go for a quick bite, see if he can grapple you with it. A 5 is not going to be sufficient to hit you, and then he'll try to claw you. And that as well will fail. And that's going to take us to Gale waking up basically as Jinx teleports you away from that combat.
Yeah, it's gonna wake up. What?
And actually, let me remind you again when you heard the tolling of the bell, it was far more that you heard screams of thousands of voices. You passed out with a cacophony of painful screams of agony.
Yeah, so I'm probably not gonna be waking up peacefully then. Like jerking to a start. Just what the where's Daryl? Oh, just yeah, just taking quick note and standing up and I guess sure what to do.
It's not that long ago that you were in this room, so you don't necessarily like have like unfamiliarity of being in this room because he basically took you back to the spot where you guys spent, probably like 10 or so minutes moving boxes to get to that little secret compartment.
Yeah. I'm gonna recognize like down in the corridor because I can see like down that hallway, right? Because that is
Yeah, yeah. And there would be sounds of fighting because, like, while the lizard's like clawing at Davros and everything there, like, all of this is happening at once.
Hey, Mara,
yeah.
real quick, did you want to use the cat's paws? Is that one of the giant cat's bonus actions?
The cat goes last though in initiative order. That was the lizard who just attacked you.
Oh, my bad. Okay, gotcha.
See, but I am gonna move closer to the corridors. Let's see, but I'm going from prone, right?
Yes.
Then, because I'm seeing the magical effect, I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on that area because I know we like could barely move in there. Like, if
Is the spell magic on an area?
it's one magical effect, so just like one of those effect. But I'm not sure how is that represented. That we can't move there. Is it just like we're slowed there, or is it like an actual something slowing us down?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forgot about that. What was it? It was I think I did like the terrain thing. That there are snakes. So yeah, you can see those. Did that fall? Why is that not on the map anymore?
Because I
Is
can
that
see
the
like the
blue thing
blue
on
area.
the map?
Yeah, I see the blue area.
Gotta be the
That's
blue thing. Okay, that makes sense. Um, it just feels offset to me. I've wondered what happened there. Maybe I dragged it on accident at one point. So yeah, you can definitely dispel that. I have to figure out what it was that I cast.
yeah. Because if it's third level or lower, it just ends. If it's not, I have to roll the
It
Yeah, I
was
think it's
something
plant
like,
growth. I think it's third level. So yeah, I think that's just removed.
if I recall, you said it was kind of like almost like snakes, like it,
Yeah, yeah,
at least
yeah. But
narratively.
I twisted plant growth to make it snakes for the actual lizard guy. But yeah, his third level spell is plant growth. So I think I was thinking about doing spike growth, and then I fucked up and did plant growth. But I was just like, let's go for it because I feel like spike growth would actually like cause pain to you guys for moving through it, and that's what I was really going. But sounds good. Yeah, dispel magic. You can definitely see the snakes. You can definitely destroy them by dispelling that. You just see as you like cast it, like each individual like part of the snake is there like writhing across the ground. And Davros would see this a little bit more like interestingly, like they're almost like writhing themselves into pieces. So each little movement almost like tears the flesh apart until they just kind of dissipate into the mist or into the weave.
yeah. I think that would be it for Gale.
That will take us to you, Davros.
All right, Davros, definitely hoping that Jinx will be true to his word in return, but in the meantime, I think he's going to turn his attention to the lizard folk to try to, if he has to, fight his way back towards, he presumes, Jinx and Gale have been somewhere back where they had already been before. So he's going to turn and swing twice at the lizard folk with his sword, trying to kind of cut him down so he can move back through the corridor. 17 would be the low. And then a 27, which I assume will hit.
17 would definitely hit.
All right. And will be for a total of 25 damage with those two attacks. Let's see, I've already used my action surge, second wind. Yeah, don't have a bonus action, can't really move, so I think that's going to do, that'll be the turn for Davros.
Gotcha. Those two attacks, that's going to leave him bloodied here. I'm pretty sure he already drank a healing potion. I think he had like the feathered healing potion that I kind of described to you guys, like he like chewed on. So I think that's why he's like now re-bloodied.
Yep, I remember you describing that last time.
Cool. That's one thing that I was like, damn, I don't have like any notes in my stuff about like what they actually used, so it's like all kind of guessing. I'm pretty sure I did this, this, and this. But that's going to take us around to the cat, and this is where I will have the paw attack. I think that'll hit you. What's your AC?
17.
Yeah, I think he has a +5. So give me one moment. Yeah, so that's exactly what he needed to hit you. As like the jelly beans swipe across you, they are going to do 9 damage to you, and then it's going to feel like I've used his spirit guardians twice. I don't have any of the highest level spell slot there. Are
Yeah,
you
no,
bloodied on Davros?
that last hit actually just put him into the bloodied condition, yeah.
Gotcha. Not quite here yet, though. Like, not where it'll visibly know. I do really like only finding out something's bloody after your turn. Yeah, I think it's going to try to do a cure wounds on itself, I think. Yeah, that's too, because it can't touch the lizard. So yeah, I'm gonna do a cure wounds. That's Justin, that's just a D8, right?
Yeah, cure wounds is, yep. Plus your spellcasting bonus.
Yeah. So it's gonna heal itself up. I think that'll take it. Yeah. That'll take us to Jinx.
Okay, so having landed, suddenly Chris just like jumps up and starts like running back over there. I'm kind of like in shock because I thought he was like dead or dying. I will move my move over back towards that way. As I pass by Chris, I'll just say, what the hell? I thought you were dead. We left him. Um, and then I am going to I'll just like pull out a little glob of molasses and start like kneading it between my fingers. And then I'll say, we need to buy us some time. And I'm going to cast slow on the two creatures. And I don't need visibility for this. I double checked. So it is a wisdom 17.
All right. Yeah. So you'll feel that it does sink in on at least one of them.
Sounds good, and, that is it for me.
All right. So yeah, I think the lizard is going to try to bite down into Davros, and he is going to fail, and that will go to Gale.
All right, I will keep moving up, trying to get back. Would be difficult terrain to go past Jinx, or just like I can squeeze through.
You're both medium creatures. It's double the distance to go over him. Jinx, you would notice that by the end, like right after you cast it, there's nobody who's affected by that anymore.
Okay.
So I think that's concentration. I'm basically saying you don't have to worry about holding concentration.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get close to. Yeah, that's it for my turn. I can't do anything yet without vision.
Do you want to dash?
All right, kind of a dash.
Or I mean, you can use your action for anything else if you want. But
I'm actually gonna dash. Let's see how long I'm gonna get. Yeah, I'm basically getting back into this corner then.
gotcha. And then it'll go to Davros.
All right. Would Davros have noted the very brief kind of seemingly slow effect on? I assume it's the lizard folk because it only attacked me once this time.
Yeah, I'd say it is definitely noticeably like moving in slow motion as that happens.
Okay, so I think that's probably enough to at least surmise that Jinx and Gale are indeed, or at least Jinx is coming back.
Yeah, and I mean, you might also hear like Gale like running up and like sliding across the stone like into that wall as he like comes here at like full pace. So I definitely think like as far as like knowing your friends haven't abandoned you, you've got that extra confidence here for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, they said the lizard folk was bloodied. Yeah, I think Davro's going to continue his focus on that one for now, and take another. Just keep swinging away at the lizard folk another 2 times. First one's going to be a miss. That's a nat 1. So we'll get my inspiration, and the second one will hit for 15.
Excellent, very solid hit there. And that will take us to the cat. The cat's paw is going to move over and try to slap Gale with a 19 to hit. Or wait, no, 18 to hit. I think that misses,
Okay.
right? Your normal AC is 21?
No, mine normally is 17.
Okay, okay.
With shield it's 21, and I am gonna shield.
Gotcha. And then the cat is going to try to guiding bolt. Ooh, disadvantage there, though. No, the cat is going to raise its um it has a mace, like a mace at its side, and it's going to raise it to the sky and start to incant in demonic language you guys do not understand. And these like horrific words kind of like vibrate through the stone of this place. And you're going to see as its mace starts to glow with like this dark black purple energy that almost saps the light from this room as it swings it down at you, Davros. Son of a bitch. It's going to be a big old miss with the 12. I don't think that can hit you.
I don't know what that was, but I'm very glad it did not hit me.
It's going to go to Jinx.
All right, so I'll keep running up there. I can end in the space with the magic, right? The thing.
Yeah, with the cat's paw, yep.
Yeah, so I'll just run up there. So I don't quite have eyes on Davros yet from here, right?
What are you thinking? You want to like heal him with healing word?
Yeah, I have to be able to see him to target him with a lot of stuff.
I don't think there's any reason to say you can't see him there. He's just vastly protected. Like he's vastly covered, but I don't think you can't see him.
Okay,
Here, give me
okay.
1 second here. Let me do what I think of as like the way.
Is healing word a bonus action?
Because
Because you could like
wait, my
dash right to get.
Yeah, cure wounds is action. Healing word is bonus action.
I was
yeah,
just
see
thinking, like,
part
if
of
you
the
can't see him from there, you could dash just to get like within sight. If you can get to that next space over, I don't know.
yeah, it's kind of sucks extra because like this map doesn't actually like sit on the proper gridding. But yeah, I don't think you can't see in like that L shape, that like night move in chess kind of thing.
Okay, okay, I got you. So yeah, I will do. So I'm gonna level the laser at the lizard, and just point it straight at him, and I'm just gonna say, "Let the dark gods take your soul," and I'm gonna shoot him. So I know there'll be obviously like disadvantage, right, for being in combat.
Yeah, yeah, for a range attack. I mean, you could shoot that though when Gale is right there. I don't think you're not going to miss with the 12 either, though. But that's the other thing is like you can shoot and then keep moving, so there's no reason that you couldn't have shot it when you were by Gale and not in combat.
Oh, okay. So I could like basically shoot while I'm in the space with Gale as long as I don't like stop like my turn there.
Oh yeah, you can always do that. That's one of the things. Like you can always move into a friendly person space, attack. It's just if you finish your turn in that space, you take damage. In the same way, where if that person doesn't move off of the space once you take the damage, if they finish their turn in that space, they would take damage.
Okay, I got you. So it's gonna be for 8 lightning damage and then a con 15 save, or he has disadvantage on attacks, checks, and saves for 1 round.
Thank God. That thing is stupid.
And then I'm gonna do a bonus action, first level healing word, and I'm just gonna yell from around the corner. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a man of my word. I told you we'd be back. And I'll do a what is it? D4 plus 5. So 9 healing for Davros.
All right, and that will you'll see like the most recent kind of wounds from I think it was the lizard folk swipe heal up, and Davros is while not looking particularly hale, is no longer bloody. I think that's the exact amount of damage that the lizard folk did to me. So,
Alrighty. So I think now.
and Davros would probably kind of yell back when you hear Jinx's voice. Never doubted you, but you don't know if he actually believes that he never doubted you, or he's just saying that. But he definitely you can definitely sense a sense of like kind of relief um, that you have returned for sure.
Alrighty. The lizard is going to turn to Jinx and he's going to say, of your words, and your word is as he is going to reach out and the laser is going to start to glow hot red, and you're going to feel your skull light up with pain as it starts to glow. You are now attached to something that does 2d8 fire damage to you every turn.
Do I take it right away, or is it, like, on my turn?
Right away, and then he can use a bonus action to reapply it. My bad. So yeah, it's 2d8 right now. It'll be 13, and then he can reapply it into the future.
Okay, I got you, and that will take me to, just below blooded.
And this is a spell I'm thinking of. I think there's like a con save involved if he wants to hold on to it, right?
Well, he doesn't have a choice. It is attached to him. He can let go of the laser, but the skull piece is implanted into his head because this is chaos tech. It is a
Oh,
part of
right.
his body.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, this
Forgot
thing
about
is a
that part.
part of
Yeah.
me. It's, like, grafted into my, like, skull and shit.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
But with that, it will go to Gale. Only there was somebody who could stop that effect.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna shoot magic missiles at it, or at that lizard. I can see him from here. Yeah.
You got sight on him. He is well covered around the corner, but he does just have an increased defense, and he is not a heavily armored creature.
Yes, to make sure, I'm gonna do it at second level to go and get 4 darts to shoot at him.
Only 3 of them fail. Actually, the 8 might still pass, but still.
Yeah, for 15 total damage, force damage.
Oh yeah, the actual saving doesn't even matter because that is just going to tear him to pieces as his body is like shredded by these darts. Just a liquid goo of black kind of pours out of him. And you slowly start to see as the laser and the attachment into your skull kind of starts to turn to a dull red, kind of returns back over to that like pale dark black stone metal kind of like smooth, like sheenless material. Anything else from Gale?
No, I'm gonna stay where I am right now at least.
We'll go to Davros. I'm going to point out right away here, Davros. Um, these are certainly creatures, unlike a lot of things that are simply like destroyed as you guys are fighting them. This is something that is like choking, still breathing on the ground beneath your feet.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If
So I
you'd
think
like, you could just as easily kill the lizard man off here as try to attack the cat and potentially stop the combat by killing the cat, like knocking the cat down, or actually make sure that the lizard man doesn't stand back up.
yeah, I think Davros is going to kind of see it kind of like slowly collapse, but still breathing. Is just going to just focus on finishing it off, trying to like almost like decapitate it, like with two strikes at it, um, as it falls to Gale's magic missile.
Excellent. You have advantage AC 13 on this creature, so you pretty much need to what, like not roll like a 3 or something? Or better. Oh my god.
But I'm gonna use. Can I use Bardic Inspiration on that first
You
one?
100% could use Bardic Inspiration on that.
Oh my god! So
You
that
just
would be
rolled a 12, right?
that. Yeah, 2 + 9 + 1. Yep, that's 12.
Oh my god, that is insane. I mean, that's the dice. You can't kill it this turn, but you can still put that other swing into it to do 2 death saves.
So we
Yeah,
have this like expression, a pair of twos, and that's just so funny. Like normally it's reference to poker, but that's just hilarious.
yeah. He raises the sword and like brings it down and just completely misses. All right, second one. Okay, that one at least will hit for 2. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, okay, 2 death saving throws, and I can't move. So, oh, actually, I could move over this guy, but I'm not going to because I still got the cat behind me. So, that will be my turn.
Are you sure? I was trying to think. I don't think I can actually heal it with the cat with you there. I think if you had randomly decided to move, I could actually heal it. Because I don't think clerics can heal through their spiritual guardian, their spiritual weapon. I
Oh,
think it
right.
would
Yeah,
be
well,
a cool thing to do to heal through the spiritual weapon, but I don't think they can do it.
yeah, not as far as I know, but I guess I would have seen the cat like it would have had to, I guess, like kind of touch itself to heal itself, right? But I mean, I probably wouldn't be
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
anyway. But so that's Stavros' turn.
I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna put it to the dice. Yeah, I think the cat is just going to whip out at you again with its flail, trying to smack you with this object. And who did I attack last time? I think I attacked Gale with the cat's paw. Using that one, the cat's paw is going to attack Gale with advantage here. Swinging a mess. Yeah, it'll go back up to the top of the order with you, Jinx. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep running. I would imagine I'm like, what? I just leveled my gun, shot this dude. It's like cooling down again now, so I guess that effect is over. If like where Davros is at right there, does that block the way for entry or no? Like, can I go past him into that room?
Technically, Davros and the cat are like on the border, so they each block one way. So you can't enter the cat can't leave.
Okay, so that's like blocked off right there. I know what you were saying about the squares not quite lining up, so I see what you're saying now. I didn't notice originally until I saw the bottom room is weird. Okay, so I think I just sort of yell over Davros's shoulder to the cat, and I say, drop your arms now and we'll spare your friend. And I pull out the boomerang, and I'm gonna hold my action if it attacks again. I'm gonna smash it into the lizard.
Gotcha. I was gonna say you can always activate your gloves and climb into the room on the ceiling.
I'm good with the parlay action. I like that. Or like a
Gotcha.
you know what I mean.
Give me a 20. What would you like to do, Gail?
Um, let's see. I'm just gonna. It's getting a bit cramped there, cause like even with things and the body and everything, I think I'm just gonna move a little bit in and see what happens.
Okay, you're really just holding there. I got you. Are you doing anything with your action?
I mean, I think I'll probably take the dodge action just because. I mean, if they're gonna
Gotcha.
hit me.
And Davros, I will go to you.
All right. I think Davros is going to kind of as Jinx comes up and is threatening the cat, but I think Davros is his blood is up, so he's just going to turn. And is there something behind, like directly behind the cat, like on the map? Is that something that would block? Like if I tried to push him further into the room, is there something that would stop him?
I think it's a table. I don't think there's any reason to think that it would further stop him. If you want to push him into the room, if you succeed by over 5, I'll let you push him prone, like where he
Okay.
falls over the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was thinking of using one of my superiority as a pushing attack. If I hit with an attack and that can push him up to 15 feet away, that's why I was asking, like if there's room for him to be pushed back against the wall.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you can definitely push him.
Okay, so take my first swing, and then I'll use the pushing attack if it hits. 19.
Yeah, it should hit. Yeah. Oh, wait, is it contested for the pushing attack? Or does
Oh,
it just
sorry.
happen?
Yes, it's it does have a. I think it's hold on. Let me check. I think it's
No worries.
yeah. DC 16 strength saving throw.
And how far did you say it pushes him?
Up to 15 feet.
How far do you want to push him?
I think I'll just push him. Like I kind of like the idea of just like shoving him like over the table onto the other side of the table.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you said it was a DC 16, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so you like push him, and when the cat like gets like thrown back to the table, you see as it kind of like just rolls over and it sort of lands on the other side in a superhero like one paw down on the ground, one paw kind of pulled back, like ready to lunge back at you.
All right, and I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna try and like just jump over the table before I take my second attack. Oh wait, I guess like or almost like jump onto the table. I guess if it hasn't been overturned.
Gotcha. If you do an acrobatics here and you get a 15 or higher, you can have advantage with your attack to follow.
All right, let me do the.
Like
Oh, and sorry,
basically
that was
leaping off of the table and like bringing down your sword basically from like the ceiling down.
yeah, almost like jumping onto the table and jump and then using that as a launching pad for my like kind of like jumping up and then kind of trying to come
Yeah,
down.
sounds good. So yeah, acrobatics 15 or higher, you can have advantage on the attack.
All right. And before we begin, I think that's 18 total damage on that first attack, and then let's see, acrobatics. Oh God, nope. That's a natural one.
I mean, technically speaking, in a way that gives you advantage as well. So if you'd like, you can use that advantage on this attack still.
Yeah. Does anybody else? Yeah, Jinx and Gale both still have their inspiration, right? Because I actually haven't used mine from my last natural one yet, because I had advantage on that last round anyway with the prone lizard folk.
Yeah, I'm inspired still.
Yeah, and same here.
Okay, so I go to like kind of like jump off, kind of like probably like hit my shin, give out a curse, but I somehow manage to kind of recover, and yeah, I'll use that inspiration and give myself advantage on this second attack. That will hit for another 13 damage. I think it was 31 total between the two attacks.
Gotcha. Describe for me how you kill the cat. Or, if you'd like, how you knock the cat out. Because it is a melee move. You can decide if you want to deal a lethal blow or not.
I actually kind of like the idea that like um, he's gonna knock him out, but it's almost inadvertent, like because he kind of stumbled like trying to get over the wall. Like he was definitely intending to kill the cat, but he kind of came down with like
All right, how
he
about this then? Since you failed at that nat one, how about I take over this one then, and we'll give it to you on this level. That as you like leap up onto the table, you actually like roll the table over, falling yourself prone. It's not going to matter. You guys are essentially out of combat here. Falling yourself prone, but in the process, like you actually knock the cat unconscious, falling with all of your weight and essentially like the hilt of your blade into this cat's temple and just zero the cat out, like as you just like knock it out with just a off button right between the eyes, kind of like breaking its ocular cavity there.
Yeah, I like that. Yep.
So you guys see as in a spectacular failure, Davros knocks out the cat, kind of smashing the like bones between its eyes. You can see pretty quickly that the cat's like face is kind of caved in. It's not going to survive long, but it is effectively conscious and not dead, kind of thing. You have the lizard man unconscious at your feet, and Davros kind of picking up from his feet. What would you guys like to do?
So I think when Jinx sees Davros like pushing forward and then like jump up going for the killing blow, he's gonna yell, Davros! And then as he like doesn't kill him, he's just gonna say, Davros the Merciful. I wasn't expecting that.
And Davros kind of gets to his feet a little bit shakily after that kind of unintentional, kind of looks down at the cat person, realizes it's not in good shape, but still breathing, and kind of looks back towards Jinx and well, I suppose we could try to question it. You can like he's definitely trying to play it off like he did not just like fail spectacularly. Like he definitely intended to kill the cat, but um
Oh, so I'll go ahead and do a medicine check on this one to like try to stabilize it, the lizard.
Guys, roll a d20. Do you have like a healing kit, or is this just a medicine check?
Just like the medicine to stabilize it. I'm planning on healing him, but I just want to like check his current situation.
Gotcha, you can stabilize it.
These creatures are obviously sentient, intelligent, so maybe having a word with them wouldn't be a bad idea. If we need to, it'll be no problem to dispatch them in their current state.
I mean, they're both here for probably cultist reason. Do we need both of them? I mean, I know that's a bit callous, maybe, but still.
I mean, if they're friends, it'll give us much more of a bargaining chip if they're both still alive than If we've already slayed one, they're less likely to believe our intentions are honest.
All right.
I'll tell you what, if you want, we can drag this one in here too, and y'all two could be ready with the killing blow. If I heal them and they try anything shifty, should have plenty of time to finish them off.
Okay. Want to help me drag him in then? Not sure I can do it by myself, to be honest.
Yeah, so Jinx and Gale will start to like drag this one into the room and then get him into position.
And Devers just kind of, meanwhile, just sort of staring impassively at the cat, just kind of like watching it.
So Jinx gets a 0 for his strength check to help you drag him. So you're not sure if he's even trying, but he definitely does nothing useful comes from Jinx.
And Gale got an 8. Yeah. I mean, he's trying, but I'm not sure much is happening.
Oh, for the God's sake! And at that point, like Devers, assuming like they seem to be having some difficulty, he will move back to try to like help drag the cat in, or the lizard folk, um, into the room.
You like turn around and you see the two of them. They're like almost with like their pinky raised, like how you like drink tea like a proper Englishman. They're like lifting up like one of the like claws of the lizard man, like wondering why the thing isn't moving.
And Davros will kind of go over and like, God's sake, and he'll kind of almost like put the things like throat almost in like a chokehold, like not obviously trying to choke it, but like to get a grip and just like very unceremoniously go to move to try to drag it into the room.
Yeah, I think in the fragile state that it's in, even like carelessly like carrying it, you can hear like the like labored breathing adds like a little bit extra like wheezing as you kind of like lift it by its throat, basically. But you can
Uh,
definitely carry the lizard man pretty easily inside of there.
Jinx is obviously smoking a cigarette by now and sort of like explains himself by saying, I was going to help more, but the smoke it got in my eye and just be ready, okay? Which one should I bring to first?
well, I don't want that one trying to turn into a crocodile again.
Let me have all of you roll a d4 when Jinx says be ready.
I got a 4.
One for Davros.
And 2 for me.
Davros, you hear from the halls rhythmic clicking, almost like the sound of like claws hitting stone. Takes you a few moments to kind of think about what it would be, and you almost have this kind of like sensation like footsteps. And you start to think about let's say the description that you were given from Dalton at one point about the misshapen nature of Untad and how his body had been sort of taken over and slowly turning into this like horrific clawed demon. And you can kind of hear like this like misshapen step of this creature that seems to step, and then like there's like the step and click of claws, and then like the heavy step and click of claws, and you catch right as Jinx says, be weary. And there's signs outside that something is moving. and it's going to remind you of Wuntag.
And can Davros tell if it appears to be approaching closer? You said, right? Or can I just hear the noise? Can I tell?
Roll a perception at this point, then.
I cannot tell. That's a 3.
Yeah, at this point, you can't quite pick up where or how this thing is moving. Just basically that, like, as soon as they say to, like, keep an eye out, you're basically telling them, we need to not revive these two right now. Something else is about. So that's kind of what I'll give you at that point.
Gotcha. So Davros will kind of like he'll maybe like very quickly, almost like kind of put out a hand onto I don't know, like Jinx is already preparing to like heal one of them, but he'll kind of like throw his hand out, almost like in front of him and be like, "Don't," and then he'll kind of like kind of point to his ear and then point to the out into the hallway and something else out there. From what my son's told me, and he's definitely unsure, but he's like something misshapen. He'll be Wuntag, and he's obviously trying to speak softly, but he's essentially, yeah, like throwing his arm out, trying to like, don't, don't, do anything with these two.
But it does bring up, do you all want to try to do something to prevent these two from coming to and being able to operate like unto themselves? Do you want to do anything in preparation? Do you guys want to go search out this threat? Does it sound good if we take a break here and then you guys can discuss it while we're on the break?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, cool. So I'm going to step away. I didn't prepare any water for today, so I'm going to go grab some water. You guys have a chat about that and what your next step is going to be. You've got two unconscious foes at your feet and at your mercy, and there is something outside of these halls that could potentially be Wuntag.
Well, I mean, the idea, at least for Gale, is he doesn't want them to wake up and possibly help Munitad if he gets here. We have to fight him, or just he wants to fight us, or whatever. He's gonna advocate for just putting them out of their misery.
I'm gonna step away for a couple minutes too, but yeah, Davros is definitely like no, he probably wouldn't phrase it as put them out of misery, like let's just be done with them. And but same idea. Let's just kill these two and then we got bigger fish to fry in a sense, is his thought process. But I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. I mean, the fact that there's a threat and potentially a like really big one, I think it's probably the smartest thing to do. I mean, realistically, I think the information we would have been seeking from them is probably where Wunatot is, potentially who has the keys. But I think at this point in time, and realistically also, we know what it's felt like battling in like the confined spaces. So I don't know if I want to take any chances at like the end of a hallway in like a small room with only one way out and like them potentially coming back too.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get set up in like a pincer attack.
Yeah, and they were both pretty powerful too, so
Yeah, I mean, like the only question I would think to ask them myself is probably like, yeah, where their sacrifices might be. they have like the child font child, where they would have taken that or them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and I would imagine that sort of probably everything we're looking for is all in the same place, like Wunatad, the sacrifice, like, all that's probably all centered in the same key area, so yeah, it makes sense. Alright, well, I'm gonna take a leak really quick. I think probably what I'm gonna do then is, I'm gonna just do a decent size heal on us all and try to bring us back up to, like, a decent player state, um, and then let you 2 killing blow these creatures.
Yeah, I mean that seems like a good plan or a good enough plan.
Oh, my bad, Chris, I thought I heard you talking right as I was, like, walking away.
Yeah, no worries. I just said that seems like a good enough plan.
Okay, okay, cool.
I'm back.
What up, buddy? So yeah, we sort of like decided that we agree with you. It's not worth taking the chance, especially if we're gonna be like trapped in a confined area with only one way out. So I'm gonna do a group heal on us all is like the first thing I have an opportunity to do, and let you two do the killing blow on these guys.
I almost want Davros to like kind of like based off the description, like I feel like the cat thing is kind of almost still under the table. Like just do like a wrestling move, just like kind of jump up and like kind of come down on the table to crush it.
WWE.
Not the most efficient thing, but or maybe just like kind of use his like foot to like kind of like stamp down on it. Maybe that makes more sense.
No, no, you said WWE move. I just picture you do like the Rock eyebrow, and then you like do the people's elbow off the table right into its like throat.
Yeah, I don't know wrestling enough to know, but that was yeah, that sounds like kind of the thought I had in mind. Yeah, of
I used
course
to
with
watch it
my
when I was a kid. I don't really follow it now, but I just picture like he like taps his elbow and then like just jumps down and smashes it into him.
of course with my my rolling like tonight, I'll roll a natural one and get like a this huge splinter in my elbow as I try to do it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But I liked how it played out. That was definitely a very entertaining natural one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and like, you know, we had the right idea in mind, just the timing didn't work out. So, it's always better, I think, to like have options as opposed to just like slay everything and then not even think to ask questions until it's too late.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely could have been uh if we had had a chance. Yeah, if we had a chance to question one of them. I feel like Davros though, like in the middle of the combat, like he's still got that little bit of barbarian in him that he's just like unless somebody almost kind of like stops him, he's just like once he gets into that sort of like battle fugue, it's just like because if you remember when Davros first started, I started him out as a barbarian, and then he kind of went away for a while and got actually trained in fighting.
Yeah, didn't he go off to wrestling camp? Isn't that where you learned the people's elbow?
I assume wrestling was part of it. Yeah, I mean he was a tavern brawler, so he probably knows a few moves anyway from that back in his youth. Oh, so how did your you had like a tournament or something yesterday, right? Or
Yeah, yeah, it was like a 3-round, Warhammer 40K tournament. It was fun, I definitely had a good time. It was sort of like a weird situation because, like, technicality-wise, I won, but I didn't really win. The guy who, like, um, I was saying is, like, the best in his faction in the world is, like, also the store owner, so he doesn't count himself as, like, for, like, the prizes and all that stuff because he beat everyone, so but I had like the next best like record slash like highest score, so I get like awarded the win, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like he wants to avoid the appearance of impropriety, even if But no, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I learned a ton. Like I haven't played against him for a long time. And he's just an like his faction that he plays is like super janky and just does a bunch of crazy stuff, but he's also just a phenomenal player. So it was really nice to get to like play against him. Our game was like fairly close. It was like 60, I think 4 to like 83 or something he beat me. Out of like 100 is the max you can get. But I mean sometimes it'll be a complete blowout and like really high scores. Sometimes it'll be like really low scores and just barely a victory. So like that was a decent scoring game for like such a tough match for both of us.
This was Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, yeah. It was a ton of fun though. I had a great time. It's a long day, like that many games because each game is like usually about 3 hours. So it's basically like an all day ordeal of like rolling dice and like checking rules. A lot of strategy.
Yeah, almost like a con. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it was a ton of fun. I had a really good time. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it again. It was cool too because like we've been playing in this escalation league over like the last it was like 8 weeks long, and each week we would basically like build and paint 250 points, and then by the end you have a 2000 point army, which is like a full-size army. And I've been playing a very similar faction to the one that I played today, but I actually didn't use my own army, or yesterday rather. I'd like bought an army off eBay. I just got a really good deal on, and it's already like fully painted, ready to go. Like pretty competitive list, so I just rocked that out.
Nice. So like, do you? So like for the minis, like do they have to be like painted to like? I honestly don't know like anything about Warhammer 40K. I'm just kind of curious like how it works.
So you like basically just buy the kits, and it's like plastic on a sprue, and then you like put them all together, and then you paint them up. And there's like minimum like paint requirements for actual tournaments. So you basically just have to have like they call it like the three color rule. So you have to have like three different colors on your model and then have like some kind of like texture slash paint on the bases.
Okay. Okay. And how long does it normally take to like paint like one one of those minis?
I mean, it really depends. If you're doing like a unit of 10 and you're sort of like batch painting them, like you could paint them up in like 10 of them up in like 4 to 6 hours like with a decent paint job. But like some people like avid tournament players are constantly changing their armies to like what's best and what's like getting nerfed is changing and like they're just always chasing the meta. So like a lot of times they'll show up with an army that's like spray painted one color and then they'll just put like a couple like dabs of like paint on a couple key areas of like two more colors and then just like they do the bare minimum, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I gotcha. Gotcha.
And then like other people, usually ones that don't even play the game that are like specifically just into the minis and like doing like extravagant paint jobs, like for like competition painting, like some of the like I just went to that big convention and some of the guys that like will paint a model for display, like some of the winners will spend like 300 hours on a single model.
Yeah, that's like one thing I've wanted to get into because I have some minis, but they're like mostly stuff that I've gotten through like Kickstarter things that I've backed and stuff. I've always wanted to get into that kind of hobby. Never found the time to actually and now where I am, I don't really have like a space set up for it. But
Yeah, it's a weird sort of like hobby in the sense that there really is like inside of the hobby, there's a bunch of niches. Like 75% of the people that actually are into like Warhammer or into like that type of game system don't even actually play. They're just into like the building and painting of models. And then like 25% of the people actually like are all about the gaming and then also do some of the like modeling and painting and stuff. And then on like the very far fringes, you have like the people that almost never play but are like competitive painters. and then the people that have no interest in like that hobby aspect, but are competitive players. But it's cool. I love it. I've been doing it forever. I really enjoy it. I like painting. I used to only really like playing back in the day, and the painting was like whatever. Now I really enjoy and do a lot more painting, but like actually enjoy the playing as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. I'll post up a picture of the army that I bought.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Did you guys make a decision about what you're going to do with Ibarb and Savia,
They
the
will
cat and
sadly.
lizard?
They are sadly not going to survive if we have our way.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yeah, so I think we decided as Davros like warning us of the footsteps, Chris and Davros, or I should either use both their real names or both their character names. Um, Gale and Davros are gonna kill the two of them, and then I'm gonna do a healing on all of us when we have an opportunity.
Oh yeah, there's no reason to assume that you don't have an opportunity prior to this happening. So
Yeah, Davros was initial thought was to like almost like go and do like a what was it, Jinx? A power elbow move, like almost like bring the table like kind of into the table and like bring it smashing down on the cat. But it seems maybe a little too elaborate, given like there's something outside. So he'll probably just like almost like use his boot and just like smash it down on the cat's head to finish it off. Like a further crushing the orbital socket, that happened after it. Yeah.
neither stealthy nor overly loud. Somewhere in between.
And I'll let Gale describe how he wants to dispatch the lizard folk.
Yeah, it's not gonna be quite as spectacular. Or so Gale is just gonna like put his hands on the lizard and pokes ahead and shocking grasp it basically.
Yeah, and then Jinx will just kind of get in the middle of the room, hold up the staff, and then he'll drop to one knee and say, "Let the healing light shine down upon us." And I'll do uh, the mass cure wounds. So we'll each gain back 22 hit points.
Do you want us to roll for like our attacks on the like lizard folk or the cat person?
Oh, no worries. Yeah, you're fine.
Sorry, Jens, how
I,
much did you say you healed?
I feel like a
You-
1 on a 20 shocking grass would be like you shock its heart back to life, Frankenstein style.
Like accidental defibrillation.
But 22, I think Chris was the healing from Jinx.
All right.
Has anyone heard that Christian Bale is going to be Frankenstein in some new movie? I'm looking forward to that.
I did not know that. That sounds cool.
Wait, what is it?
Apparently, Christian Bale is going to play Frankenstein in some new movie.
Oh, nice.
I was a big Christian Bale fan, so like as an actor.
Did you guys see the what is it, Borderlands movie?
I have not seen that one yet. I want to see it though.
There's a lot of things that I like about that preview and a lot of things that I hated about that preview, but I do want to see the new Borderlands.
Is that out already?
Oh, I'm
I
not
heard
just
sure
they
if
seen
were
the teaser.
making the movie.
yeah, I'm not sure if the movie's actually out yet. I was more talking about like, did you guys see that they're like is going to or is one? But yeah, the preview looked pretty good. Like anything coming out of Hollywood, there's always some things I don't like about it, but I thought it looked pretty fucking cool.
Have
Okay,
any
yeah,
of you guys watched the Fallout series?
that
Yes,
one I have.
I really enjoyed the Fallout, but I've never played that video game.
I've only played like the very very first one, like the old one. I haven't played any of the Bethesda versions. But like somebody, one of the other guys that I play D&D with was like, you need to see. He kept like say like over and over and over, you need to see it. And then I finally kind of like I watched the first couple episodes and I binged the rest like on the next weekend. And yeah, I really enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I can say I played like from third and onwards, and I really enjoyed the series as well. It's really fun.
Yeah,
That's all I
I've
can say
heard
about it.
really good things about it. I haven't played the game or watched it, but everybody I've heard from is like, dude, it's awesome.
I
I
think
just
on the same level of how you were describing like liking musicals that are extremely dark, I absolutely love how horrific Fallout is, and yet they play the things for laughs.
Yeah, and I love the aesthetics too, just like the whole kind of like 1950s, but it's like the far future kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the whole it's like okie dokie, and right before she does something just like horrific.
Yeah, I'll send you a link, Justin, if you're interested in watching it, because it's definitely some good stuff. And the
Yeah,
pacing has
yeah.
been great in it, so
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
check it
that's
out.
one of those things too, like a well-paced show. Like I don't know what it is, like 40 minutes or an hour, whatever it is, but it never feels slow. It always feels like it's going like beat to beat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one thing I like about Amazon. Like if you look like their episodes are not consistent. Like some will be like an hour long, some will be 40 minutes, some will be 53 minutes. So it's like they're
I
not like
was thinking
tied
about
to
that.
a particular like, oh, it's got to be 55 minutes long or 50 minutes long or whatever. So it kind of like from episode to episode, like some episodes are shorter, some episodes are longer. Yeah.
I never actually thought about it as being an Amazon thing because it's never going to TV. They never have like a TV cut.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about ads or anything. Yeah. Or I guess Amazon now has their ad version, but like they don't have to like structure the episodes for ads. I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, my favorite TV show, even like when you own it, you can so feel when the TV commercials like are coming on. Stargate, the old like sci-fi TV show one, you can just feel it so hard. Like, oh, that was an ad break.
Yep.
All right, so let's jump back into things here. We've got you guys kind of Davros notices the sound of somebody moving in the halls beyond, right as you guys are contemplating reviving these two. You can take that moment and have this first sort of action be where you dispatch the two of them. Davros with an elbow to the skull of Ebard, kind of caving in their face and Gale frying the skull of the lizard, just kind of melting his brain with a impromptu lobotomy. And Jinx taking the time to heal everybody. You have another few moments to still decide whether you guys push forward or act. But what sort of thoughts do you have after you take those actions here? And you can hear somebody is approaching closer to where you guys are.
Yeah, so like with the whole fight and stuff, and given we haven't really gotten really into the room until the very last few seconds, um, what does this room like look like?
I guess I could probably describe the room for you. Give me one moment here, as if I was already prepared to describe said room.
The floor is shifting lava. Damn it.
The lava says, I've been here the whole time.
Chaos.
All right, so it's been a while since I described this when you guys first opened the door. So if I change that description, nobody hold this against me because you basically walked in and saw the two of them kind of wrestling. But basically, while you guys are inside of here, you have kind of two beds in the south side of the room. Those are kind of those cream ones. One of them's kind of visible there. Long table is what was kind of pushed over with the body of Ebard kind of being thrown over it, and that's what you like crashed into the cat with. Uh, and then each side of the room, like beneath Gale and to the bottom left of Davros, are chests with large padlocks on them. Other than that, you can kind of see some of the disarray of like some of the food and like drink that was on the table. Not all of it scattered about from like or from your entry, but some of it was already kind of made a mess from the two of these people, like again fighting like amongst themselves prior to you even entering.
Gotcha. So Deborah's gonna kind of turn towards Gale and Jinx and kind of then glance back out, the doorway that we came in through, and kind of looking around the room, seeing just like a couple chests and beds, and not too much. Gonna kind of quietly say like, I think there might be another way out of here if we had to. And basically, he's suggesting like, should we look for like a hidden door or a secret door? But he's suggesting it because he knows that he's probably not the most likely to find it. I guess that might be a little bit meta, I guess, but
Wait, what was it that made you think there would be a secret door?
not so much think as like hope, because like we don't know where Wunatod or whatever the thing is. Like if we have to, right, we're kind of there's this like corridor and stuff. So like if we had to go back, we might get trapped again. So it's more hope that like maybe there's some other way out of here.
I mean, sure, I could look over the room, but I'm sure how much time we have.
And I think Jinx would just maybe take a step into the corner right over here and just get ready for what I imagine is going to be a battle.
And I think Davros will actually kind of like move, like after he says all that, he'll move out of the room, like back into the hallway and try to like listen to see. Well, he already did the perception check, I guess, to see if like he can tell whether it's moving closer or not. But he's almost like kind of, you know, almost expectantly, I guess, kind of moving out, into the doorway, kind of weapon at the ready, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think like Gale will try to like investigate the room. Just like touching the walls, trying to see like if he finds like anything that could indicate like a hidden switch or anything to get a escape route out of here.
Gotcha. Let me get an investigation from Gale and then a perception from Davros.
16 in investigation from Gale.
And it'll be a 12 for perception.
And I got a 17 on my cigarette check.
You successfully light a fresh cigarette with your old cigarette. Davros, as you look around the corner and kind of like are looking out to the north, you see a female humanoid kind of like stand at the stairs, kind of leading towards where Gizagat was, where you guys originally came in. Basically, at that entryway, looking up to the east and up those stairs towards the entry. And you can see that while she's generally humanoid, there's like a dark kind of like blackness around her. And she seems to almost glow with this sort of purple, like anti light that's kind of like sapping the light from these halls around her. She has like tentacles that seem to be writhing about her that kind of come from the back of her body, almost at her shoulder blades. And then she has two long horns that come out of her skull, and they each kind of like curl outward and away from her body, but almost kind of go in like two big loops before they kind of like spiral back. And she again is like looking to the northeast as you peek out of this room.
So seeing that she does not seem to be looking, at least at the moment, in our direction, he's just going to essentially almost like he's going to hold his breath, like, and just try to be as quiet as he possibly can and not move.
Gotcha. Let me have your stealth modifiers from all of you, please. Just the modifiers.
+4 for Davros.
+2 for Gale.
On mine is 7.
So plus 13 total. 4, 3, or 4, 2, and 7.
I think it's only +10, right? Or no, wait, no, +7. Yep, it's 13. Sorry. That's not good.
Gotcha. So as you hold your breath and kind of like wait for a moment, you kind of see like the breathing in her kind of pauses for a moment. And you start to like see is like the tentacles around her back, they like stop kind of like squirming almost like with a random kind of motion, and they start to like writhe down the hallway as they're already starting to sort of move to the south. And you're going to hear kind of echoing through the entirety of this stone structure. Intruders have entered the sanctuary. Intruders are coming for you. To those who do not belong, you cannot stop the coming dissolution. The Galchut will rise. And as soon as you kind of hear like the word Galchut, you see as her face turns and she stares directly into your eyes. I'm gonna have you roll for initiative here. And again, that was echoing through the stone. Everybody heard that. And you guys should recognize that was not just you guys who would have heard that. That was like a loudspeaker sort of announcement through the halls of this place.
It's going to be an 11 on the initiative for Davros.
15 for Gale.
And I have 9.
Yeah. All right, you said 15 for Gale, 11 on Davros, 9 on Jinx.
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right, Gale, what would you like to do?
Gonna move there first, and then I'm gonna summon something. I'm gonna summon an elemental. See how this works. Yeah, a fire elemental. That's what I'm gonna choose.
Oh,
Shares
and my
my.
apologies. I should also stress, Davros, that like while you can see the qualities of this person, that it is like a human and a demon kind of combined in two things, like sort of sharing a singular body. You can also confirm this is not the same description of what you've heard Wound Todd looks like. What elemental are you summoning, Chris?
I'm doing a fire elemental, and it's a 4th level spell. And I'm like gonna summon it like just ahead of Davros, and order it to move.
All right, I've got three different choices for you. Do you want a fire tornado, a fire owl, fire salamander, or maybe a fourth choice? You can have a like fire like manga chick.
Honestly, I kind of like the fire salamander. Like, kind of like fire spirit. Okay, yeah, I definitely did the right choice. That looks badass.
Technically, it's large, so in this particular instance, it has to kind of start back here. 2 spaces. I guess really, you can probably summon it away from you, right? You could probably summon it in front of Davros.
Yeah, and I mean, from the spell, it seems like they're amorphous, so they can like, what is it? Amorphous form. They can move through like any space as narrow as 1 inch wide without any squeezing or anything.
Excellent.
All Davros's body hair is immediately singed.
Yeah, I assume I was going to ask, like, I assume by just the fact that Gale summoned it doesn't mean that like Davros still feels the heat, right?
And without body hair, you gain proficiency in swimming.
Speaking of that, Davros, let's have Chris. You are going to burn Davros if you summon it in front of him. So, any creature that touches the fire elemental will take damage. So, maybe wait until you can get the creature away from your friends, because you can't really summon it here without burning Davros.
Okay, yeah, because that. I think it's because it's an elemental spirit. It doesn't like say that on the stat block that I get.
On the fire form, where it says the 1 inch without squeezing, it follows with a creature that touches the elemental or hits it with a melee attack while within 5 feet of it takes 1d10 fire damage.
Because what I have from it is like I get the amorphous form the squeezing, then I just get the actions. That's what I can see. That's why.
I gotcha.
I assume Gale does not want to trap us in this room with the fire elemental outside.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
So, what are your thoughts here? Are you moving out, Gale, or are you actually going to try to hold the room?
I'm actually gonna. I'm probably gonna move out then, so I can summon it, so it can get to. Actually, yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna do. That's my thought. I'm gonna squeeze past Davros and just.
How far can you move? Where can you move to?
That is my max.
Gotcha. And what did you summon it with? Do you actually just have a spell? Did this use something that tells you that you use that stat block that you have?
Is the spell, fourth level spell, elemental, summon elemental. And that on that spell there are also like the whole, like what armor class they have, hit points, speed, everything.
Okay, I got you. So it's probably more than likely that you do not use the elemental stat block that I have. So that makes more sense.
I think like a higher spell maybe I get, like where it's more.
Yeah, I see where it says elemental spirit. Yeah. So if we pretend that I never said that it could burn Davros, does that change your desire to move like this?
I mean, it would still probably fit that I would move like this because I had to like order it to do something.
Gotcha.
Seeing the creature I wanted to attack would probably still fit. And with this, I can have it like, yeah, where it is basically, so it can attack. Just gotta remember to look at its stat block when it gets attacked.
In D&D Beyond, you might be able to actually add the stat block to your like top right. I can't remember what they call it, like other or something like that. Summons. You can probably add an elemental spirit. Oh yeah, this is also a medium creature too.
See, that's weird. Like I would think like summon elemental would summon an actual elemental, but I see what you mean. Yeah, elemental
Well, this is one
spirits,
of Tasha's
different
spells though.
creature. Yeah. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Tasha's added like all of the different summon spells, and they're all lower level than a lot of the other summon spells because they give like varying levels as well. So they're good. They're really good spells for what they are because the things vary in like skill up with you, even though you might still be using a low level spell to summon it.
Yeah, the only ones I can find on that like extra is like the regular fire elementals with the large elementals and everything.
Wait, what was that?
Like I checked on the other tab and the extras add summons and
Okay,
things like that. That seems to only have like the regular elementals or like some
gotcha.
mermaids. Doesn't seem to have like the spirit elemental spirit thing.
I'm gonna send it to you on Discord here. Or my bad, I just dropped it into the group chat.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, otherwise I have it on like my spell if I just click on it, so I get all of it. I just have to remember to write down its hit points and things like that, so I keep track of it.
You want to make an attack with the fire elemental real quick?
Oh, right, sorry. It has multi attack. It's gonna share. So it's yeah, multi attack. So 2 attacks. A nat 20 and a 2. And the 2 would have been to hit. Nice.
No way the 2 is gonna hit though.
Yeah, no, it's a
So
7.
just roll for damage, and then let me know what the max damage would be that it's added to.
So it's 1d10 plus 4 plus 4 from the level. So yeah, 1d10 plus 8. So 18 max, and let's see, roll.
Yeah, so 18 plus a D10.
Yeah. Plus 3. And that's fire damage, everything.
You'll notice that as it smashes into this creature, her body does not seem to burn with the fire touching it. Seems to do something, but it's reduced. Anything else from Gale? Otherwise, it will be on Davros.
No, that's it for me.
All right, Davros, as he hears the kind of this call, it kind of reverberate through the stone. It's going to kind of like, even as Gale is kind of rushing past him, he's just kind of like look back and we need to go now. And he is going to move. And he is going to swing out at this creature, whoever she is. It is twice. 14 would be the low, 20 would be the high.
20 manages to like slide across this creature's armor and stab into her. This is definitely a well armored creature.
All right, for 13 damage.
And if that is all from you, it will go to Jinx.
Yep, that's it for me.
All right, so I'll use my free object interaction to pull out my flask, and I'll take a extra liberal drink of it, and I'll say to myself, "I never know when it's gonna be your last." And then I can actually only get to right here.
Gotcha. You don't have a great view, but you still have a view.
Okay, I'll just poke my head around the wall, and I'll just yell, "Shut up, bitch!" And I'll do vicious mockery to her. So it's wisdom 17.
You see as she's like turning uh to Gale, like coming around the wall, and like right as she starts to like incant these words, here's you kind of like peek your head around with the shut up bitch, and she stutters for a moment. How much damage did you just do?
5 damage.
As Davros like moves up to her and starts to like slash into her with his sword, she raises up a hand in front of you, Davros, and she just kind of like reaches right past your face, and you kind of see as she's starting to like form this like red mass of like a blood like matter, and then she like passes through your head with it, and she's reaching out to the other side of you and just kind of forming like a beating heart in the air. And it's almost like she's staring right through you. She has locked eyes with Gale, and she's just saying to you, choose your fate, and may the death of your kin follow your choice. I would like you to choose odd or even and roll a die. If you are wrong, something's going to happen that's bad.
Is that for Gale or for
For
Davros?
Gale. My bad for Gale.
Okay, shit. Let's go odd. So, did you want me to roll the dice as well, or
Yep. Roll the die, please.
that's odd?
You see as she like starts to like split this this like heart in the middle of the air, like that she's like forming. Like there's like runes kind of forming on the ground beneath, and they kind of just make a circle like split down the center. And as you like kind of like almost like have your eyes kind of like leaning towards one side and not the other, they like burn bright red and purple as the blood starts to like pour down and the heart's like cut in two, and the blood just like gushes out, most of it falling onto the side that you've picked, and then it just dissipates. And she kind of like looks down and kind of like looks down into you, Davros, this time. Your friend has chosen well. Perhaps you'll have your choice to die. And she is going to swing down into you twice. Actually, you know what? As she says, perhaps you'll have your choice to die. I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw, Davros.
All right.
You see her eyes kind of like glint with almost like a humanoid look. And for a moment, she seems almost like human and like hyper feminine and like an actual attractive human before her body immediately like kind of takes its natural form of this demonic, horrific, like scarred look. And you kind of shake it off without a second question. You are now immune to her charm for 24 hours.
Really, with a 5?
Oh, wait, my bad. I thought you just rolled high. I'm sorry
No,
about that.
that was a 5. No, I assumed that was could be a fail. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my bad. You are charmed by her, and you cannot actually try to do any harm to her. My apologies. Um, yeah, she's going to look again like hyper feminine and extremely attractive to you and almost immediately charm you as she kind of looks down at you. Defend me from those who attack me. So you don't have to attack your friends, but if they attack her, you have to defend her from them. And she is going to immediately fly over the dog and out of here. You can make a attack of opportunity with the fire elemental, Chris.
That would
And
be
as she, my bad,
sorry.
what was it?
20 to hit would be actually
That's it. And how much damage will it do?
11 fire damage.
Davros, you would have an inexplicable urge to attack the dog, but as it is out of range, you don't have to.
Yeah. I was just
Um,
looking at lunging attack, but that's only. I thought that might be a reaction, but that's only when on my turn. So yeah, I have nothing
gotcha.
at the moment.
Yeah, so she's gonna fly around the corner to the left, Davros. You'll be the last one to actually be able to see where she flies to. And again, you're not like charmed by her where you can't be helpful to your friends here. You just have to, one, you don't want to harm her, and two, when somebody attacks her, you'll have an inexplicable urge to attack them, effectively using your reaction. Um, but yeah, other than that, she flies away and will be at least presently out of sight of you all.
All right. So I don't have I don't have to go attack the elemental that attacked her.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
You might have some chastising words for Chris about attacking her. That's perfectly fine by me. With the elemental.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. But I just want to make sure I didn't have to go attack it just because it attacked her. Yeah.
But that
So
will go around to Gale. What would you like to do, Gale?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sending my dog to chase after her. But yeah, I'm gonna try to move up as well, because I don't think it's a good idea to let her go. But yeah, I'm gonna try to squeeze past Davros and order my dog to move up. Oh well, my salamander.
How far can you get?
I think like there, because it would still like move past the salamander. Spirit would still be. That'd still be.
Well, you and the salamander move at the same time, so you can move the salamander up to there. Those two spaces. How far could you move? Like Davros is the only one who is in your way right now.
I would be able to get just there.
That's the
at
end of
that
your movement.
at that point, as Gale is moving into Davros, or like moving into next to Davros, so I have a bracing attack ability where if he like, I would want to make it non-lethal and maybe not even like an actual attack if I can. But
You could
uh,
grapple him.
oh yeah, maybe I'll try and do that. I'll try and just like stop him from, if you'll let me use that as a reaction instead of my instead of the brace attack.
You can certainly do that. Do you currently have inspiration?
I do not.
You can have inspiration as well. 'Cause I don't want to tell you that you have to do that, but I think it's in line with you being charmed. So have advantage. You don't have to
All
use it.
right.
You can use that whenever you want, but
All right. Yeah. So when a creature you can see moves into reach, you have the melee weapon. Blah blah blah. Okay. So would it be athletics then for grapple or an attack?
yeah. Strength athletics, yep.
That will be a 24.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have to roll. I don't think I can roll that high.
Even your acrobatics doesn't compete.
Yeah, no, even with my acrobatics, like the highest I can get, like with a nat 20, is 22.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you can pretty much hold him pretty much to the south of you.
And if he can, like, if Devers can kind of speak on his combat turn, he'll be like, he'll say like, she's not what you think. She's not our enemy. Although I guess I should ask, like, the fact that he's charmed, does that mean he is also like he wants to, obviously wants to protect her from them? Does it also mean that he like is thinking that like, and he would like kind of like say words to that effect, or is it more just like physical? He'll protect her.
Yeah, she's a friend. So Davros would never think of her as anyone. Like Davros would have her pretty much on the level of friendship as like these adventures that you are traveling with. And for some reason now, like out of the blue, they've decided to attack one of your friends. Like they're still friends. You don't necessarily want to hurt them, but your first urge is when they're attacking her is to like attack them back. But in the same way, like trying to protect her is like up there in those things that you want to do.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So he says something like, "What are you doing? She's not our enemy." As he kind of like blocks Gale, kind of holds the hallway here.
So you don't necessarily have to like hold Gale in a grapple like beyond this turn, but you do reduce his movement to zero when you grapple him here, and then it would go to you, Davros. Gale, you can't see what the dog can see, what the salamander can see. So once it gets there, you can move it blindly, but you don't know where it's going. So what thought do you have about where you're trying to move it to?
I mean, I saw like her moving left in, so I'm just gonna have it move. Basically, have it ordered to just move in, like in the left, what it can move. It's 40. I don't think it wanted to move it all the way. Just yeah, basically to the table, because I'm not sure where she is, and I'm gonna have to see when I get there. Like have it stand on guard there would be my order.
And then what would you like to do, Jinx? Do you do anything else, Gale, or is that the end of your turn?
And that's the end of my turn.
So yeah, I'll come around the corner, and I don't know if this is actually going to help, but I think that makes it even more likely that I would try. Um, I think I'm just gonna say to Davros, don't listen to her bullshit, man. She's a trickster. That's our enemy. We are your friends. And I'm gonna do the counter charm.
Gotcha. You can definitely counter charm for him. What does that do for him?
So it's as an action you perform until the end of your next turn. So that's all I can do. During that time, you and friendly creatures within 30 feet that can hear you gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. So I don't know that it's going to actually help you once you're already charmed if there's not like additional like attempts to break the charm.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
And
I
it's
mean, I
until
think that
your next turn.
yeah, I perform until the end of my next turn. So that will help us if she tries to charm us further. I don't know that it's gonna help, like, break the charm that Davros is already under, though. But, I mean, I think that's what I would try to do regardless of if I knew or not.
Yeah, that's one of
Gotcha.
those like very poorly worded things. Like the way I read it is like he has to keep performing it until the end of his next turn. But like if my turn, like obviously if my turn comes up next, I would get if I have a chance to break it, I would get the advantage. But he has to keep doing it until the end of his next turn. It's very weirdly worded. Like I don't have to wait until the end of his next turn and then my next turn after that to get the benefit is what I guess what I'm trying to say is the way I read it at least.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be, like, an ongoing effect, basically, to try to help us from becoming charmed. I don't know that it helps existing charms if there's not an attempt to break it.
Yeah, I feel like the reason it does it is so it's like through your turn. But yeah, like if you do it constantly, it allows that protection, but it just takes your action every turn. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do think it's
exactly.
unique in things where it's like you do the action this turn, but it lasts until the end of your next turn. So you don't have to use your action next turn to do it, to continue it, but it would stop once you've stopped. Because it's effectively, as far as I'm concerned, it's the most clearly like the bard plays like a musical ditty kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, and I think because I'm more of, like, a storytelling bard and not a, like, musical bard, I would imagine it would be more like me just rambling, like, inspirational, like, words.
Yeah, it's like trying to get them to focus on something that's like normal and they're used to from you is like your like storytelling. So like pulls them out of this moment and where their minds might be at and into something other, which is like the classic like sitting at a fireside, hearing Jinx talking about old things and like whimsical things, crazy things, happy things, horrible things, but all of it is like slightly more normalized by this idea of just how he tells the story.
Yeah, which also, like, fits in, like, now in retrospect that I, like, told the story about Davros, like, earlier, for the dice.
Yeah, it's like, what do you like? He's not our friend. Think of your son. That sort of, yeah.
And then I still would have some movement left, so I'm gonna continue through past them and then just go right down this, like, little corner right here, and then that'll be it for me.
Gotcha.
Would would Davros at this point, because he's charmed, be considered a hostile space though? I mean, he's
No,
already.
you're not hostile because as long as he's not attacking, he's still friendly.
I gotcha. And I guess if he's going that way, he's not going towards her. Yep. Okay.
Alrighty. Um, One moment. Jinx, as you round that corner, you are going to see the lights in that room to the northwest kind of dim. And among that, you will see that the fire of Gale's fire elemental is starting to be dimmed until for a moment, even the flesh of the fire elemental itself starts to like dim until you can't see the fire elemental in the darkness. So give me one moment here. Actually, let me get a perception check from you there, Jinx. Yeah, just say after a moment you're like looking off to the north of you, like where that hall continues on, and there's just like an odd moment where you're just like, I swore there were lights on, that there were sconces in that room, but it's just darkness up there. You don't even necessarily think about the fact that the fire elemental is up there and there's no light being shined from that thing's body. But you do hear the sound of blades, and I am going to attack the fire elemental. A 6 and an 8. The low one is a 13, high is a 15. What's the AC on the fire elemental?
Both of those will hit because AC 13. Oh wait, actually, no, I read that wrong. It's 11 plus the level of the spell, so that's 15.
15, just the one hits.
Yeah.
There we go. So the 6 and the 3 are the hit there. So it's going to do 13. Let me confirm real quick because I think this is going to be magical. Oh, it's actually more than that. You know what? Shit, what do long swords do?
Slashing?
Yeah, I feel like they're D8s though.
D8
Give me-
and D10 if they like two-handed.
Yeah, I'm using 2 of them though. So, all right, I'm gonna do 3 with sneak attack and then 11 necrotic from the D6s rolled there. And then this is the long sword. Will be 9. So 9 physical. I think that's halved. I think does it have physical resistance?
Not in fire form.
Okay, gotcha. So 11 or wait, 9, 11 is 20, so 23 total damage.
Damn, that's a lot.
Oh shit, they have sneak attack because the fire elemental. Does the fire elemental have dark vision?
That it does.
Okay, okay. So it can see who's attacking it, so it doesn't have advantage. All right. Then it's gonna go to you, Gale.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my bonus action to summon my.
Oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. Your elemental, does it get to protect itself? I feel like it gets to protect itself. Does it say something about when you're not giving it command?
When I'm not giving it a command, it's yeah, basically takes the dodge action.
Okay, so it would have actually been at disadvantage there. Don't even take any damage then. My apologies. So, oh, yeah, yeah, disadvantage. Sounds right. So it would know somebody moved up to attack it. But other than that, like you don't really know what's going on right now. My apologies. Go on, Dan.
Okay, so I'm gonna. So it didn't hit then, or it did hit?
No, it did not. Because the first one would have been disadvantage, so 13. And then the second one there was 11.
Yeah, okay. Then Gale, seeing, because I see it gets dark as well, because I can't see in there anymore.
Correct, yep.
So I'm gonna be a bit cautious and summon my spell book, the mind thing. Let's see, what's it called? Yeah, manifest mind. Yes, I manifest my spell book in like a space 60 feet with an unoccupied space of my choice within 60 feet. And it is intangible and sheds dim light for 10 feet. And I can see and hear through it, and it has dark vision with a range of 60 feet.
So I think it can only see 20 feet though, because it's only shedding 10 feet of dim light.
Yeah, it's only shedding 10 feet of dim light.
Yeah, so where are you going to place it?
I'm gonna place it just like barely inside of the darkness, because where my elemental started from before, basically. Uh,
Gotcha. I swear I had a counter for this book. Maybe it's a prop. All right, so I just dropped it there. You're basically going one space above it there.
yeah,
So I can't really show it to everybody, but you can see the dog at this point. And let's say you can see swords like slashing at the dog from the northwest of it.
all right, then I think it would be, yeah, I'm gonna try to like shoot a fireball through my spellbook then, like where I see the swords come from.
Gotcha. You can attack with disadvantage.
That's 13 to hit.
No, it just flies through the air. You don't even see the light of the firebolt.
And
I don't think normally your book would be able to see in this darkness because it's magical darkness and it's, I think, a higher level order spell. But I'm hesitant to say that because it's also like your quintessential thing with that wizard type is the book. And that's where I'm kind of like at odds here. But your cantrip definitely does not like cut through the light here. In the same way that the elemental does not create any light inside of this magical darkness.
Then I would say that, like, even if it's my quintessential thing, it's because it has like dark vision. So if it's magical darkness, I'm fine with it not seeing. Because
No, no, I'm sticking with how we have it. Like because it creates a little bit of light, like you can see a little bit with it, but you can't see much. Part of this is me giving you information about what you're dealing with. Like Gail first thought, "Oh, there's darkness up there." Now you're starting to recognize that this is like a high level, like magical darkness that is in front of you.
okay, then yeah, then I'm just gonna end my turn with my dog with the dodge because as I can't see it, I'm not gonna be able to order it to attack it. Yes.
I mean, it knows it's being attacked, so it can attack the thing attacking it. Just, I mean, you can attack with.
Okay, I just cause it's just how I read it because it says like if I have to like issue a command to attack something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You have to issue the command. Yeah, I guess it does probably fall back on the dodge then. My bad. So that'll take us to Davros.
All right. Did Davros actually see Gale um, cast the spell that summoned the elemental? And I guess first question actually, um, is there any chance of me breaking the charm?
I've not had anything that I think has happened that could cause you to get another save at it.
Okay, so then yeah, my question is like, did I see Gale um, summon the elemental? I can't remember honestly if I was like in the room because I feel like if like he sent the elemental after my protectee. So I feel like Davros would be threatening Gale, like call it off.
Well, even now, he's not actually telling it to attack. So I would say even more so now. Um, Gale like just has the dog like standing guard almost. And that's where I don't think you have any need to like be threatening. When Gale had like freshly done something, I think grappling him was a good response. But I don't necessarily think like the dog just being there is still a threat.
Gotcha. Okay. So
And
then,
I think part of what I would expect from, in my opinion, charm and like the odds of an enemy charming you amidst your friends is sort of those like bipolar responses of like he slams Gale like back and like grapples him, but immediately like is clear minded like the next moment when you're not like clearly attacking her.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I think in that case, yeah. So Davros is gonna obviously let Gale go, release the grapple, and I think he's gonna move.
So I think for you, I'm trying to think of this. Inside of the
Oh, I forgot.
darkness,
Yeah, I forgot about the darkness. Sorry. Yeah.
the book, I have to decide which of these higher order. It does change things here. The book emits 10 feet of dim light.
Where's the edge of the darkness? I feel like maybe that might be where Davros would stop and just be like, because he knows that they went up this way. So maybe he'll just like essentially kind of thinking like, before he gets into the darkness, hold the line here.
I think that's actually the edge of the darkness.
So he'll like come up to the edge on the stairs and just kind of like looking back down, and yeah, he'll just hold there. Can't really hold. I think, can he hold a grapple attack in case Gale or Jinx try to come up the stairs?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's a attack action, and then choosing grapple is just one of them.
Okay, yeah. So he'll do that. Like he probably won't go into the darkness like that. Like I guess like the way charm works, that probably wouldn't work. But he's still under the effect of doesn't want to have any harm come to. Yeah, so he'll stop there and he'll grapple. He'll attempt to grapple anybody who comes up uh, next.
Chris, what level do you get your book when you can do that?
Gonna check. It's a 6th level order of the scribe feature.
All right, yeah, Davros. Let's say that you can see in the light that the book is shedding here. But like outside of that circle, it's dead black. There's no like that's dim light in there already. In the corner of the room. The book, though, is slightly brighter than the actual magical darkness here.
Gotcha. And just to confirm again, there's no like save that like Devers can make like at the end of his turn, right?
No, not at present.
Okay.
If you are all set, it will go to Jinx.
All right, so again, I'm kind of reaching on this one, but I am going to attempt one more thing, maybe in vain. But I am going to try to persuade Davros that he is under the effects of a demon's magic and that he needs to come back to like consciousness. So I'm just gonna say, Davros, the demon, she has a hold of you. She's not our friend. Think of Dalton. Think of our quest. We need you now, brother. We need you on our side, our loyalty. And I will use my action to persuade him to stop being loyal to the demon. I don't know what or if or what it will do, but I'm gonna try.
At this point, I'm going to accept that as you run counter charm for another turn here. Because there's not a way to break it just with persuasion.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, that is my action. I don't really have a bonus action. Maybe, Davros, you're not bloodied right now, are you?
I think all of you are pretty freshly healed from that mass healing that you did. I don't think I've hit anybody.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I'm just going for that again. I'm gonna go for that, and then I am going to, yeah, that'll be my action. Yeah, I don't really have a bonus action I can do, so that's it for me.
All right, give me one moment here.
Sorry, I had to step away for a sec. Did I miss anything?
I think only Jinx at some point asked if you were bloodied, but I'm pretty sure you all are freshly off the healing, so I kind of answered that.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know when you left, but I just tried to like persuade you that you're under the effects of the demon and to like come back to us, but essentially didn't have any effect. So I'm just basically counter charming for one more turn.
Yep, I heard that part. I just missed the next part. Somebody asked me a question. I had to. Yeah, but I assume like Davros would hear those words. He just it would have no effect on him at the moment because of the charm.
Oh, I mean, you're like inspired by them. They're heartwarming words. It just doesn't break the charm. There's not an opportunity with this charm at present for you to have another save. It's just not something that's happened yet. You guys can hear movement in the shadows, but right now I'm moving things that you cannot currently see. So that's part of what I'm doing here. All right. I am going to attack the elemental again, and it is currently dodging. This will be a disadvantage. You just hear like the swish of blades from off in the darkness. You hear like the feet of people moving about. There are currently people like piling into this room, kind of as far as your perception might go at present. And then it's going to go to Gale. What would you like to do?
All right, I'm gonna move my book a little bit closer to my elemental that I can see. I get it up there.
Gotcha. So as you move forward, there's going to be the point where you see a figure who isn't quite visible to you, and this is where I'm going to stop what you can actually see. In that that person's square is never going to be fully revealed to you. But your book, as it pushes forward, basically like pushes into its darkness, and you can see these 2 points where the light that your book is shining and the darkness that is all around it are kind of competing, and there's just like this little bit of like a circle of darkness that still kind of remains around this person as their like swords kind of slash out at your elemental. The darkness pushes in on your book as their arms kind of pull back, the light pushes in on their darkness. But again, there's something to the northwest of your um, elemental, you still can't see it. But you can see that there is a humanoid figure, almost somewhat like an elf, to the north of your book. And when you start to see it, this figure looks horribly changed, scarred, pig like almost in many ways. And if you hadn't ever heard of them in the past, there are these creatures that many believe the orcs are descended from. And they are people who were once elves, captured by ghoul. And this would remind you of what you've seen there. But this is neither orc, human, nor elf.
All right. I mean, even if I can't see other people, I know there's other people there.
You do indeed. As far as you know, this room is filled with people. By the sound of it, there are many footsteps inside of this room right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a chance here then, because my fire elemental spirit is immune to fire, so I'm gonna fireball the room. I'm gonna try to do it so I don't hit Davros, because it's a 20 feet radius.
This was a 25 foot by 25-foot room, so you could put it in the opposite corner.
Yeah, I
You
would try
need
to
to
do the
see
same.
where you can put it.
Gonna try to check here. Let's see. No, it's a point a finger to a point you choose within range. And since I can do it from my book, it's within range from my book. So yeah. So anything within 150 feet. Usually don't have to see. That seems weird.
I feel like that's kind of implying you're pointing at something you can see. You're pointing a finger at it. So you can choose a position that's far enough away from Davros that you're pretty sure he's not going to get hit by it. I'm going to make Davros make a saving throw here. If he rolls a 1, he's going to get hit by your fireball.
Okay. Uh, sorry, this is going to be a 4th level spell as well. So the dexterity is 17 for the ones who's going to be hit by it.
So not a 1 for Davros.
Do 39 fire damage to anyone that gets hit with a full blast.
Pretty good damage roll.
You said 39?
Yep, 39. And they have to succeed a DC 17 dexterity.
You said your DC was 17?
That is correct.
The one that you can see is completely consumed in flame.
Oh yeah, and I don't remember what the table was made of, but if it's flammable, it's on fire now at least.
What level spell was that?
That was a 4th level spell.
Yeah, so for a moment you'll see that there's 2 other figures who are standing behind like this pillar of darkness. And there are 2 more of these orcish figures inside of that room. And then it's gonna go to. Oh no, I got rid of my dexterity rolls. It's gonna go to Davros.
All right. So the light that's coming from the book, that's for everybody, right?
It is dim light for anybody who does not have dark vision. So you can make out what's in there. You can't see in there in the same way. But yes, you can see enough to see that far right now.
All right. So I'm trying to think, like, if Davros, like, if he doesn't know where his essentially protectee has gone, like he's almost going to go like. Honestly, like what he wants to do is go rush up to Gale after he casts that fireball and try to essentially grapple him and be like, "What are you doing? You'll hurt her." But if he can see like where, where things are happening, he might go the other way. But I feel like if he can't really see beyond where the book and the elemental and the now dead thing is, that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to essentially go and like grapple Gale.
Sounds
Like,
good. Because, I mean, essentially at this point, you did see him do something hostile. And for all you know, she is in there. So that's a valiant action.
yeah, like he's not going to attack him, but he's going to like kind of grapple him. Like, what are you doing? Stop! You're going to hurt him, kind of thing. All right, so it'll be a 17 strength check for the grapple.
.15 acrobatics.
Gotcha. So yeah, you'll grapple him and reduce his speed to 0 again.
All right, and then I don't really have a bonus action. So yeah, that will be actually he'll turn back towards Jinx and he'll just say like, "He's not our enemy. What are you doing?" But that'll be his turn. And I'll say in a more like Davros tone, like, "She's not our enemy. What are you doing?"
Jinx, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna use my interaction and pull out my wondrous dog figure, and I'm gonna cast light on it, and then I'm gonna go into the room.
Gotcha. So as you move into like the light of the book, the figurine is not casting any more light. The book is the only thing casting light in that room.
I'll just tap it a couple times and be like, "Damn thing's broken." Uh, that's it. That's all I got.
Gotcha. You're not currently in the darkness there, so that would be honestly like one more step forward where you're at before you would really know.
Like right there's good.
Yeah. Out of the darkness, a creature is going to run up to and stab into the elemental. Dear fucking lord. One more running up and attacking the elemental. What's its AC? That one should hit, but what's its AC?
It's
15?
50.
Yeah. So that is going to smash into it, and it is going to 15 slashing damage to it. If it's hit, another one will do 15 to it. Should hit with a 16, doing another 15 damage to the elemental. Is the elemental like half health at that point? Does it look damaged?
Yeah, it is blooded, if it can look blooded.
Another one is going to cut into it for 7 damage. And as it like cuts like across the elemental and like leaps above it, like cuts down across it, it like lands in front of you, Jinx, and is just like roaring out like a yell. Extremely pleased with itself, trying to be as hostile and intimidating as possible. And one more will attack it, and that's just a 14, so that's going to be a miss. And it too will push up onto and into Jinx, as it as well just kind of like yells out with a roar at you, Jinx, being as aggressive and potentially frightening as possible. Sword's going to slash out into it from the darkness, and this is going to deal 9, 10, 11 piercing, and 8 necrotic for a total of 19 damage. Is the elemental still standing?
Nope, with that, it will dissipate.
As the elemental dissipates, the darkness in the room is going to recede. Jinx, at least, would be able to hear. And there's a lot of footsteps happening in the room. Jinx, roll a perception check here. Gotcha.
Uh,
With all the like yelling and roaring in front of you. Oh wait, my bad. What's your modifier?
it's 11 total.
Gotcha. Let's say even like with all the yelling and like the roaring in your face, you're just barely able to pick up, like, not only does the darkness recede, like, around you, but, like, whatever it is, like, moving to the west of you. And that's going to take us to Gale.
Yeah, and I'm still grappled, right?
You are indeed.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I think this will just be with try to get out of the hold from Davros. He's like, let me go. Get your head screwed on right. You're thinking wrong. And that would be 21 acrobatics to get out of the hold.
That would be contested athletics.
Up to you if you want to contest it or not. But it would be athletics if you want to contest it.
I mean, I don't want to contest it. I'm just wondering if like Davros under the charm would.
Oh, nope, that's where I'll stick to. It's up to you whether you choose to or not.
He's not specifically. No, I'll let him go. Yeah.
Yeah, so Gale, as you start to like fight for your freedom, there's not even any resistance as you're like almost running up the wall to leap away from him. Davros doesn't even fight it in the least bit.
I feel like seeing the other things like start attacking, like yeah, I don't know that he's going to go after yeah.
Yeah, that's my action. I'm gonna try to like push through Dara so I can get like closer to the room at least.
Would
Like with
that
the
be an act would that be an action if Davros doesn't resist? Or would that just be
Roll a
free
luck for
movement?
me. Pick odd or even, Chris, and just roll a die. If you pick correctly, you can use your free action to break free.
let's go with even this time then. Oh, that's odd.
Damn it. Just trying to help you.
That's my absolute favorite part about it. I think it's Agent Green, Call of Cthulhu. Just the 50% luck roll.
Yeah, I love the luck roll. Yeah.
Yeah, with that, yeah, I'm just gonna like bonus action move my book. And I, yeah, move it up there.
If Gale is all finished, it'll go to Davros.
All right. Yeah. I would like about the luck rule in like so luck in Call of Cthulhu, you have a certain amount of luck and you can use it to kind of like push rolls. Like you roll, let's say you roll like one or two under, you can make a success, but it's a finite resource. Like you don't get it back.
That's what I was saying with the Agent Green, I think it's called. It's just a 50-50 in there. They got rid of the finite resource of it, but it's just a cool thing because it's still there in the same function of luck in the other one, but it's no longer a resource. I don't know. I think it's a cool twist to just be like, yeah, roll, see, 50-50, something goes your way right here.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to add it into D&D when I don't have a luck stat for you guys, but the 50-50, that obviously is easy enough to add in.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Davros Can he? I guess he will start moving up. I don't think he can see her from where he started, but he'll push past Gale. So that's 15, 20. He wouldn't have any. Would he have any thought that these other creatures might be attacking his ward?
I mean, they're threatening Jinx right now. You can see like the two north and west of Jinx are like roaring into Jinx's face. But there's no semblance of whether they would be friendly or hostile, and that's not where the charm would take effect. The charm was just for you to defend her against your friends.
Okay, so the fact that so if they're not attacking her, I'm free to attack them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so I will take 2 swings at this one
West of
around the
Jinx.
corner. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I'll give myself advantage on the first one with my inspiration. Good thing, because that was a natural one. 18.
Solid hit. It's definitely extra AC for the corner, but it is not enough to stop that strike.
All right. 11 damage on the first attack, and then second one at normal. Get my inspiration back. That's natural one. That's a lot of natural ones tonight.
Gotcha. So you're actually going to kill that one, and with the second attack, as you like fail miserably to strike at it, part of that is because you've like already cut through the creature's spine, and its body has gone limp, and it is falling to the ground dead.
Now, I have 10 feet of, I think 10 feet of movement left. Can I squeeze past Jinx to get up there? Is that 10
You don't
feet?
even have to, because technically you can walk into that.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. I think I will want to move as close as I can to my, being protective of her as I can. Yeah. So I would do that. But that's my turn.
That'll take it to you, Jinx.
Okay, so we've still got like 4 of these creatures right here, right? That are still up and about.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do. So yeah, I'll hold my hand up in the air, and then I'm just gonna prick like a drop of blood out of my finger, and then I'm just gonna like swing my arm through the air, and the drop of blood will split into like 4 and hit the 4 creatures, and I'll say, "I curse you," and I'm gonna do Bane on them. It's an upcast, so I can hit 4.
Gotcha.
I curse you with forever
DC
failure.
15.
17 charisma. Gotta get your Riz up, son. And then I think that's basically it. I'm not gonna actually be able to move, I don't think so.
Alrighty. see. Oh, my bad. The 10's going to be a 16. Is that a hit, Davros? I feel like his AC is 17. Jinx has the low AC with 15.
Mine's 16. Uh,
Oh,
are you
maybe it's the
doing?
opposite.
Are you gonna do Bane? I don't have to do it.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Bane, both of those. Just do
Uh,
the low one first, and then do the high one.
Sorry, I said the way, but a 16 would have missed anyway.
Okay, yeah. So just Bane the 14 then. What was that 2? So that's a 18 minus 2 or 20 minus 2, 18. Does that hit you?
That hits, yeah.
And it's gonna smash into you for 7, Davros. And then one attacking Jinx here. It's gonna be a big ol' miss. All right, so you guys are going to hear um, hurried footsteps, uh, incantation, or like words spoken in again one of those languages that you do not understand. Like again, horrific kind of demonic language. And then you will hear the creak of doors, the slamming of doors. And let's see. I think one of these is about to attack Jinx again, which will not hit with an 11, and it will go to Gale.
And I'm gonna firebolt the creature just north of Jinx. Let's see. That's a 19 to hit.
Solid hit.
For 11 damage. A 10 and a 1. And that's fire damage.
That creature is already mortally wounded, having been horribly burned by a previous fire explosion. And it's going to go to Davros.
All right, Davros is probably going to retaliate against the one that hit him, whichever one of those that is. Yeah. But he will swing twice at that one.
Gotcha, yeah. Effectively, like the two to the left were the ones who attacked you, so.
Yeah, so I'll take
They're
the
both
one.
essentially fresh.
Yeah, I'll take the one directly to my left then.
Gotcha.
I'll use my inspiration to give myself advantage on the first one. It's a crit.
Yeah, let me hear how much damage that does real quick.
All right, so let's see. 2d6 plus 5, so that's 17 plus 8, 25 damage on the first attack. First hit.
Give me one moment here. Roll a d10.
5.
All right. That creature is mortally wounded from that single strike. And you can see his whole body has like gone like stiff. As all of his muscles like tensed up from the strike. He is stunned until the end of next turn.
All right. Would I recognize that before I made the second attack? Because my plan was to just attack it twice.
I'd say you can kind of make a decision on that one because that is a kind of unique opportunity where you're causing system shock. So you can kind of decide whether you want to attack something fresh, recognizing that you now have a stun target, but you also have advantage on it if you want to just kill it too.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna use the advantage and try and finish it off. I feel like with the swings, like he can't really halfway through decide to yeah. All right, so second attack against this guy with advantage. Be a 20.
Oh yeah, that's gonna kill him with the second one.
Ooh shit! For only 7 damage though. Bad damage roll.
No worries.
I'm still under the edict to protect the woman to the north, right?
Oh no, she's not on this map.
Oh, I
You
thought.
are still charmed, but she is not on this map right
Okay, I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought it was okay. Uh, and I have no idea where she went, right? So I have no idea to try and follow her to try and protect her.
now. Right.
So okay, so I will stay there then.
Gotcha. It'll go to Jinx.
Okay, so we got 3 more right above us here. All right, I'll do a cutting words on the one that's north of me.
Gotcha.
Or wait, not cutting words. Sorry, that's the defensive one. Vicious mockery is what I meant.
He is going to fail miserably. Roll max damage, you can kill him.
5 damage. And I'm just gonna say, hurry up and die. You know you ain't got a chance.
Damn, I don't know whether that was a 2 or a 7 that he had hit points left. So pick a even or odd Jinx and roll a die. If you are successful, he's dead. If you fail, he's at 2 hit points.
Okay, I'll say even. Even it is. 2 it is.
So you just say like hurry up and die as he like looks around kind of at like the burnt state of like all of his flesh, and he just like takes his battle axe and just coup de grace himself as he slits his own throat, and he just like looks up as his blood like gurgles out of his throat, and you hear the last bit of air as he like incants like this name of the Gauchut kind of like gurgling through his blood before he falls to the ground.
I'll step
You
over his
feel the
carcass.
stone. My bad. You feel the stone of this entire place kind of shake, like just the ever so slightest, as he kills himself and invokes the Galchut.
Yeah, I'll step over his body as it's like hitting the ground.
I'm just gonna do one on each of you here. We'll do Davros here. Should be a miss with a 6th strike. It's a 12, and that one will definitely be a miss. I think these two are going to flee, giving you each the opportunity attack.
That's a crit from Davros on the opportunity attack. I'm gonna say it's the one to my north west here. The
Gotcha.
And then can I do a grapple attack for mine?
Yeah, it's an attack, so you can grapple.
Where do you think you're going? So what do I add to that? Is it like
Strength,
athletics or
athletics.
so it's just a 10 straight up.
They're gonna break free.
be 26 damage to the one that I critted.
They're basically like running away from you with a massive gash, like right down the side of their spine, and you can actually see like some of their ribs. You said 26?
26 total, right? Yep. It'd be 17 is the max plus what I rolled is 9. Yeah. Yep.
And you're just gonna hear screaming from them as they run, or maybe screaming from the male orc as it runs. The other one's slightly more composed, having not been cut in half. And it's gonna go to Gale. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move up a bit and send my book after them. See if I can see some things. Let's see. Can get there.
So you can see them clearly in front of you, but you can also see with the book that there are shut doors at the end of that hallway, about another 30 feet away from you.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to shoot down the one that Davros almost like cleaved in half.
Gotcha. Roll an attack on it. Solid hit.
For 7 fire damage.
That will drop it to the ground.
Yeah, I think that's it from me. This turn at least.
And that'll take it to Davros.
All right. And Davros, like by virtue of his charm, he has no idea where.
Nope.
All right. So in that case, he will move forward and try to finish off this one as she is moving down the stairs. Let's see. 17 would be the low.
Solid hit.
All right. So 2 hits for 30 total damage.
Yeah, kind of same thing. Like as she's running, you're able to like cut her like damn near in two, mortally wounded, but not laid low.
And he might actually like kind of as he's slicing her like knees off, like where did she go? But that's it for him.
And Jinx,
So you just hear like the kind of crackling as I lower my rifle, take a few steps forward, and then just shoot a jet of liquid hot lightning. And do nothing.
did you use the spell lightning or your gun?
Oh no, my lightning gun. Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Would you roll to hit there? My bad. Two.
Oh, it was a 2, so even with, like, I think it's, like, +5 or something, there's no way I'm hitting.
Gotcha. Gail, what would you like to do?
I would like to shocking. No, just gonna firebolt it from myself. Uh, at the on north of Davros. That's a 16 to hit.
Should still hit.
17 fire damage.
And that's going to burn her up as she falls to the ground running. Anything you guys would like to do? What are your initial thoughts here as you lay the last of these ancient orc elf remnants to death?
Do they all look pretty much the same, like, just grunts, or does anybody look important?
You could roll an insight check here.
Pretty high. 24. Looking for a key.
You go through there, like the first few of them, pretty quickly here. Again, this is still somewhat in initiative here. You guys can decide how far you go out of initiative. But looking through pretty quickly here, you're kind of recognizing like these creatures are somewhere between like living and dead. They're not quite undead creatures, but they're also not quite like living elves, living orcs. There's something different. And they really don't really wear clothing in the least bit. They've got a few javelins that are kind of like strapped to their back with some leather, and they've got their different weapons, some of them swords, some of them axes. But in general, these things are not carrying anything really metallic besides their weapons of war. If you saw somebody who was special, they're probably somebody who fled from you and not somebody who was left behind to die and delay you.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense.
Any other initial thoughts?
Has the compulsion for Davros like seceded in any way, or is it still just as strong?
Oh no, no, you're charmed like that. I'll tell you when something changes to change your charm, but yeah, right now you are charmed, and if anybody attacks her, you have the inclination to defend her.
Gotcha. Okay, but there's no like sense like I have no idea like where she is, or it's just
No,
like
no.
if I yeah, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. There's no reason that you can't ask the questions, but yeah, it's at this point, like effectively, you were told to defend her, and like that's the end of the charm. Like it's still there. Nothing has happened to you to stop you from like recognizing that charm.
I gotcha. Okay. Imagine Gail might have some questions for Davros. Now we try to stop him from getting into the fight.
Which way'd your girlfriend go, Davros? I know she didn't just leave you for dead.
What are you talking about?
No, the one that you love, the one whose name you don't even know, that you sworn your eternal loyalty to? Where is she?
Why would my wife be down here?
I'm not talking
Are
about your
you
wife.
what are you playing at?
I'm talking about your girlfriend. Don't worry, we'll figure out what's going on with you, one way or the other. Gail, which way should we go?
Honestly, I have no clue. I think it's just pick a direction and hope we get there. They were running towards something, so maybe follow that.
That makes sense. All right, so I think maybe we'll keep going down the hallway where they were running to.
And Davros is gonna go like to try to like essentially grab Jinx by the shoulder and be like, "This way, you disrespect my wife again. We're gonna have words."
I'm not the one disrespecting her. We have plenty of words. You're gonna see soon that you're the one who needs some talking to. Now get your hands off me. Now just keep walking.
Davros just kind of grit his teeth and he will continue, yeah, forward.
So you guys can walk down this hall. Again, this whole chamber is like filled with some massive, like ancient stone blocks. And as you approach these double doors at the end of the hall, you can start to see that they seem to depict like a solar system, kind of like moving around these celestial bodies. And within a few moments, you can pick out that carven in this stone, aged by centuries of time, just kind of sitting here beneath Tolus, you can see the very same positioning of the moon up in the sky and the moon to have returned just the other day. Can't believe I forgot its name right now. Um,
Veilous Moon.
Yeah, the Valus moon just kind of positioned right in front of it, and you can see like the actual planet of. I also don't remember the planet's name offhand. Just kind of like sitting depicted here, but like the actual positioning of the Valus moon and the like kind of like normal like celestial moon that's always been there are almost exactly the same is when the Valus moon appeared in the sky above Ptolus. To the sensation of recognizing, no matter what your personal beliefs on this, like conversation of is it destined in the stars or whatnot, like this stone is ancient. It has been carved here for ages. The Valus moon blocking off that portion of the white moon beyond it, and it's always been here.
Primal, is that the that's the name of the world, right?
I feel like Pramo might be the continent, but that sounds about right. I think that might be his world. It's hard to remember. I'm so sorry. It's been ages since I actually read like the first chapters. I think that sounds right. That it's the world Pramo.
Unlike Tarsus or
Nobody
something is
actually
the
calls it
continent.
that though. Is part of the problem. Tarsus might be the continent because the Tarsian Empire, I feel like sounds right. Um, but Pramal, I feel like is a reference to the god who effectively there's really only two creatures in Tolus who would even have memories that far back.
I know I put in my notes is Pramal West Marches Tolus. So
That sounds good to me then, because I'm not looking it up here. I easily could, because that's part of what I like about Notion, but I'm just not typing it in as I describe it.
So Davros is gonna move up to these doors and he'll kind of like looking and he'll probably admire the intricacy of the way the doors were made. Um, before looking back towards Gale and Jinx and
And is there like a lock on these doors? What's the deal with them?
You don't see anything that would seem like a lock. These are definitely decorative doors.
I'll try to open them up.
As you push on the door, they do not seem to budge. Let me get a strength check.
The two.
Yeah, as far as you're concerned here, Jinx, these doors are designed in a way that they will never open again.
They're
Could just be a portcullis.
clearly barricaded shut. There's no getting through here. Likely magically sealed, if I had to guess.
so Davros kind of like watches Jinx try to like force open the doors, and he is going to stand back a moment, and he'll try to force open the door.
Roll a strength check for me.
If they do open, I loosened it.
16.
One moment.
And I can make that an athletics check to be a 20.
Oh yeah, my bad. You could do strength athletics, so athletics is fine. So as you like go to push into the doors, having watched Jinx like utterly fail at it, you like push for a moment, and I'd like you to roll a perception for me. All three of you can roll a perception, actually.
19 for Gale.
12.
And a 7 for Deborah. Deborah does not know how badly he failed.
Alrighty. So Jinx had a 19, Gale's had a 17.
No, mine was 12. I think Gale's was 17.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
Gale was 19.
Gotcha. Yeah, as you're like staring at these doors while they push forward, like almost with like the creak of the doors against Davros's strength, you hear a horrific scream coming from within the actual area, and your attention immediately is pulled kind of like vertically upward because you can kind of sense this person's almost like standing like 10 or 15 feet above you as they're screaming from 60, 80, 100 feet forward inside of this room that seems to be beyond these doors. And while everybody can take some notes that there are like almost like a huddle of creatures on the other side of the door trying to barricade it closed and hold it against your entry. Um, Gail, your attention's going to be drawn towards this scream coming from within as somebody is being tortured in sort of the worst of ways, you can clearly tell. But you also recognize the exact same kind of form of there's light in this room, and after a portion, there's darkness that stops it in an extremely odd way. And wherever this person is who's being hurt, they're inside of that darkness. And then Jinx, you kind of notice as the doors are thrown open that there's about 4, 5, maybe more of these creatures that you just dispatched on the other side of this door, holding this door against your entry. Davros, you'll spot that there's one or two on the other side of the door because as you push it open, it's immediately slammed back in on you before you can push again, and this time like you are going to hear tumbling as these creatures are forced backward. And we are going to have this little reveal. Oh, it's my Albert crash.
Just a random note as we're like potentially approaching a new area. How are you guys doing on time?
Yeah,
I'm good tonight.
I probably need to round off about now.
I'm pretty much going to call it here because this is the final encounter, essentially. You guys have basically walked into the ritual of the final dissolution or the Night of Dissolution.
Okay, sweet. Perfect timing then.
Good cliffhanger for next week then.
Yeah, I felt like we've been like pretty good about having like a nice cliffhanger moment around the right time to like take our leave.
So, Gail, in some reference, this is kind of for you to recognize that the person who's casting that magical darkness, that magical darkness is following, is probably like 30, almost 45 feet in front of you and a little bit to the south of you. Like that, again, is kind of what your perception is, and recognizing sort of like the arc of the darkness against the light that's coming in the room. And the scream is coming almost 60 feet directly ahead of you, about 10 feet, 20 feet above you. You guys can see one set of the stairways to the south and another set of stairways up to the north, and can basically see like the level you're entering on. It's about 8 or 10 feet above to the next level. And then with that other set of stairways on the north side, you can kind of pick up that there's another level that's about 8 or 10 feet above there. You can see these blocks of like blue glowing stone that seem to be pulsating moment to moment. And with that like shriek of pain, you can actually see as they all start to almost like crackle with lightning. And you can see some of them have cords attached to them, and they're actually feeding into the darkness where you can't see where it's going any further. But you can basically recognize at a kind of quick instant that something about these stones is powering something other. This is very clear chaos tech. And again, the door is kind of like pushed open, and on the second go, you kind of push the orcs back a little bit. But they're basically holding this door as you guys kind of try to force your way in. And we will basically start next week, sort of with kind of an initiative I think just about like this kind of situation, as they're kind of like pushed back against the doors being flung open. And inside you can hear there's chanting, there's like footsteps, there's still screams, not nearly as blood curdling as the one that first drew your attention northward, Gale, or westward rather. And I think that's a pretty solid description of the room for now.
Oh yeah, well, very fun as always, gentlemen.
Hope you guys all have a good week here. Pleasure to have you. Glad to run the game.
I am definitely looking forward to what happens next here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Next week.
definitely looking forward.
Next week, the dramatic conclusion. Yeah, definitely. It's very like climactic, I feel like, after like the journey we've been on to be at the ritual room during the ritual.
I
And
mean,
Davros is
something's going to conclude
still
here.
and Davros still charmed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a mix up. I thought about taking off the leather gloves and backhanding you with one. I thought maybe if you took a little damage or something that might wake you up, but I don't want to provoke you any further.
Technically, he would have a normal reaction to you slapping him with gloves. I'm not sure if that makes Jinx any more safe, but he would have a
Right?
normal reaction.
Well, I tried
Was it
everything I could to free you of the spell or of the charm, so I did my
was it
part.
what's that movie where the one guy slaps with the glove and the other guy I accept her challenge and picks up like a metal gauntlet
Oh,
and
it's
slaps him
Men in
back.
Tights. Robin
Yeah,
Hood
the
Men in
Robin Hood.
Tights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Robin Hood
yeah.
knockoff. Yeah, yeah.
It's so freaking good, like making fun of like it's like the best of the Robin Hoods. I can't think what it is, but like the 1940s version where it's like Technicolor. So many people love that, but I love that scene where he pulls up the gauntlet and he's just like, "Yo, I accept."
Dude, I went back and watched that randomly, like maybe like 2 years ago or something, and it just blew my mind how many like super famous, awesome people are in that movie.
Oh, Dave Chappelle crushes that movie. I absolutely love Robin Hood Men in Tights. That's one of my favorite movies. But I really like parodies. I think parodies are so beautiful at like taking real issues and just making light of them, but like making it like fun to actually like think about some real shit.
Yeah, and I mean it's a Mel Brooks movie as well, so you know it's gonna be good.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's like all-time classic, and again, leads us down the road of musicals. So, apparently there's more musicals I like than I thought.
Did you hear they're planning to remake Naked Gun with Liam Neeson?
Okay.
I
Um,
can't imagine remaking a lot of like movies that we grew up with. Just like in the current climate, like where you can't actually make fun of things, like funny stuff is almost always like dark or like painful things to people who like have to live through it kind of thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally
I
agree because, especially like that era of movies, like all the funny shit is like cancelable offenses now. So I don't even know how they're gonna make it funny.
Yeah,
yeah, I've
like the original Airplane, where it's like with the pilot like essentially suggesting that he's like into little boys. Like that's not gonna fly today. I mean, it's funny, but
I
Yeah,
mean
airplane, everything.
or the whole like jive turkey scene, right? Now it is like, oh no, that's cultural appropriation and blah 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 blah.
The blowjob stewardess sex doll. What were you
Yeah.
saying, Chris?
Yeah, it's like gonna come as well. Y- A lot of it is also like Leslie Nielsen, just how he delivers lines, and I feel like I'm not sure if Liam Neeson can do that like properly.
Well, Leslie Nielsen was like I feel like he's one of the people who was like whatever the Shakespeare troupe like trained actor. He was a serious actor until he got Naked Gun, and then immediately became a like comedy like trope.
Yeah, he was like a
Yeah,
like well-regarded dramatic actor until yeah.
yeah, I think it was even like considered a bit of a heartthrob, even like dramatic, like romance things like that.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things where it's just like, oh my god, you're like so good at acting, and then it's just like, but you're so much better at making us laugh.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of
It's
that is just,
also there's like a lot of good acting in that too. Like he plays it like the whole like even just like the like you know don't call me Shirley line. Like he plays it straight, but it's funny because anyway, yeah, I don't know.
I think that's part of it is because everybody was like he was taking it seriously, but it's so funny because he's like basically played for deadpan.
yeah, I think like the first movie I was in, like in the comedy, he was even told like just do it like you normally do, just be very dramatic, completely straight. Don't do like anything unusual from what you usually do.
It might have been Airplane too. I don't know specifically which one it was. Airplane or Naked Gun, which came first. Well, yeah, I definitely remember hearing that on like something where he was basically like asked to be like the name that brought people in, and it was almost going to play the joke on how serious of an actor he was. But then people just found him absolutely the funniest person ever.
And if you think about it, most of his movies he plays the straight guy, like the straight person, except like to comedic effect. Like and most of the comedy happens around him.
I wonder, did Mr. Bean come after him? Because I feel like Mr. Bean plays like the same idea as Leslie Nelson. Like, let me be completely oblivious to how stupid I am. Because, oh my gosh, Leslie Nelson had some of the like most amazing movies ever.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, Justin, because it is funny because even more so because he's so, like, serious and, like, everything's, like, going over his head. Yeah, Liam Neeson
Exactly.
is good, but I
Especially
don't
like
know.
like the Naked Dead movies. Yeah, like he plays it straight the whole time, right? Like, but that's the whole joke, right?
Yeah,
He doesn't
exactly.
realize how how yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I think the one I'm most excited about is what we were talking about earlier. I hope the Borderlands movie is, like, really good.
Because that's got Kevin Hart as the gunner, which was one of the things where I'm like, I love Kevin Hart, but the gunner was like a big, beefy, like muscle guy. I feel like it's got the
I think isn't it, like, Jack Black as the Claptrap or something like that?
Yeah,
yeah, I think Jack Black's Claptrap. Um the mom from True Lies is the like the invisible chick.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
I feel like there's like an unknown chick who's like clearly like the younger um I can't remember which one she plays. It's been so long since I played Borderlands. It was so much
Tiny
fun. I
Tina.
really love that first one. Tina?
Yeah, Tiny Tina. If you think about like the younger.
That sounds about right. I really don't know. It's been so long.
Yeah, I love Borderlands. It was so fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, just like that whole like world, the storyline, the actual game, like all of it was just so good. They really have to try to fuck that up.
That's another one though. You can do so much for that universe, and the same thing with Fallout. Like that could go on for years and years and years.
Yeah, I think if they nail it, it could totally be one of those things where it's like an ongoing series, and it's so rare to have like original stuff anymore. Even if it's like off of a video game, at least like not regurgitating one of these other like remake movies will just be so nice.
Yeah. So even like the video games are like they're so good and like there's like they give you some lore, but like there's so much left unsaid that it could like there's all this fill in the blank stuff that like it could yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right. Well, as always, gentlemen, it was a pleasure. I enjoyed the session and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, looking forward to next week, but I gotta get to bed now. See you in a week.
Yep. Me too. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Later, bros.